All the cameras are rolling.
Yeah,
Sweet.
all the cameras are rolling.
What's up, chat?
Which Hetty?
We've had a couple
We're
of
fitted,
drinks.
we're whiskied, we're good.
Yep.
Squared
Socially
away.
lubricated.
Socially
This next 2 to 3
lubricated.
minutes should be sweet. We'll be all good. Yo.
Hey, Robbo.
Hey, what up? What up, Jono and Jono?
How are you,
Thanks.
buddy?
My favourite Jonos.
Oh, thank you.
That's good, man.
Man, it's one of those Instagram posts that you guys put up recently. I didn't realise that one of them was Benno.
Oh, dude, you're not the only one. Oh,
But like
so
fully
funny.
cammed up.
Yep.
And this is one of the things we were saying earlier. It was like you can mistake
Yeah.
airsofters for military units.
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea that it
Oh,
was
that,
like...
was that you and Benno at UX?
Yeah.
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 It was like my favourite Jonos, and then I think I got a DM from someone. It's like, that's Jono and Benno, and it's like, but which Jono?
Yeah.
No idea.
We're
Yeah.
disguised.
Yeah. That's
Cracker.
so funny. You were not the only one to do that.
Yep.
So feel better about that situation. But also that was something that I didn't think about as well. Which is exactly that. Like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
everyone's got their kit on. And obviously for us, like we're super familiar with Benno, and it's like, so you just have this automatic reaction that everyone will just magically realize that it's Benno.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even remember who called me out, but I'm just grateful they didn't do it publicly. It was a DM.
Yeah.
That's such a social media thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Let's just try and embarrass that person and humiliate them, and on social media, when it's like it could just be like just a friendly little DM, like, hey bro,
Got that wrong.
yeah, that's actually Benno.
Yeah.
you know
Be
that guy you know.
Yeah. Be blessed, Benno. Like you look like a Jono. That's
Yeah.
a term of endearment.
Yeah, but but I mean that was all over the significance of like the planets aligning, and like two separate event producers in New Zealand like actually being at the same airsoft event together, not running that airsoft event
Yeah.
and playing airsoft.
Running and gunning
Yeah.
together. Like that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And to be fair, I think that's literally the first time I've played airsoft with Benno.
Oh, true.
Like
Yeah,
full
yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
So
it good?
yeah, like well, it's
Of
just
course it was good. Of course you're gonna say it's good on the
like
podcast.
yeah.
Nah, he was shit. I'm not doing it again.
We love you, Benno.
Oh yeah. It's very different when he's on the airsoft field. It's not what I thought it was. That's why they say you should never meet your heroes.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's funny that you say that. I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, well, you're sitting here now, and it's like, yeah, now you're gonna get
And
to
now
the
I'm
end of
meeting
it.
you
You're gonna
guys.
be like, oh man, I wish I'd never done that with those guys.
No. I'd be like, you son of a bitch. Come in. Let's do this again some other time. Yeah. Man, you fed me and you've given me something to drink. Like, what more can a man ask for?
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks,
You
mate.
know?
Yeah, it's a simple thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a simple man. I got simple needs.
We're all simple. But like 99% of all my conversations and interactions with Benno is like events. Like,
And the
the
complexities,
good things, the
and
bad
challenges.
things. Yeah. Like, and,
Like what cool stuff can we give to people, and like what are the challenges that the hurdles that we have to like, overcome to deliver that?
yeah.
And like what sacrifices do we need to make to enable that to happen?
Yeah. And it's just the hardship, and because the reality is like New Zealand's a small country, and there's not many people doing it, so you
There's
just
also not many people doing it well.
yeah.
But who like how many good examples do we have? To like we've got like those United States ones. We've got the ones in is Canada Storm Riders. I think, have you guys been involved with them?
Yeah, so we've got a good relationship with Phil, who is kind of like the, I don't know how you describe it, like one of the head guys of Storm Riders, and he does the podcast over there.
Yep.
It's real interesting because you would think Canada bordering US, like Canada would be like the airsoft scene would be really big.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what part of Canada you're in. But yeah, some parts of Canada, so for Phil, like their community isn't big. Like his podcast is big. It's massive.
I've been watching their stuff since I started Airsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a small community, and so they're so they're still building that out. So it's like just because we're down in New Zealand doesn't necessarily mean we're not doing something substantial. And a lot of what me and Jono are doing is like we're like one of the reasons that we started the OPAF series is it's like, well, like we just got kind of sick and tired of hearing people talking about this epic event over in the US or Europe or whatever it might be, and it's like, when you take a step back, it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, the US has a big airsoft community. Like the population is large.
They can carry guns.
Yeah. And
Gets me down, eh?
Yeah, and there's population plays a big part, but at the same time, there was no one saying that we couldn't do those things. Like there was no, it wasn't like there was an event, and that was the other thing. There was like no like standalone event producer back in like 2018 when we like first decided to do that particular event. There was no standalone event producer who you could kind of turn to and say, hey man, like you've been doing this for a while. This is what you do like around New Zealand, blah, 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 blah. Like it is today with like MIA and special effects. There was no person to say, oh, hey, look, like we do the things that we do and we do it in a particular way because this is what you can and can't do in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like ran with that and started having a couple of conversations with some people that had things like tanks and all the rest of it, and created. And the problem is like when you don't have that, it also means that you don't have a network of people. You don't have infrastructure and different things, and you got to build it from the ground up. But the reality was, we put that event together, and did it as kind of like a case study to say, like, we can do this.
Yeah.
Like, and the reality is, and now like we did that event in 2019, and years later we've made connections with people like Zulu 24 over in the US, and like once you actually start talking about airsoft more globally and having those conversations with people that are doing that thing overseas, you then realize that they actually can't do some of the things that we can do here.
Yeah.
So they actually look at us and go, oh man, those guys are actually doing some cool stuff, and they're genuinely interested to hear about what you're doing, which blew my mind, because I thought that the US was like the Wild West, like you could do anything. And he's like, talking to Dave, he's like, nah, like like over in New York, you're not allowed to use tag-ins.
Yeah.
They can use like Enola, like EGs and like other cool shit. But like it is very state dependent. Like certain states you can use this, you can't use this, and then depending on the state you're in, you can or cannot use certain stuff. But it goes to show that like we can do some cool shit in New Zealand. The problem is you just have to work your fucking ass off to make it happen.
Well, it's just being a business owner, isn't it? But just to go back to that population comment that you made, like look at Australia. They can't even legally run airsoft.
Yeah.
But they've got gel soft or gel blasters. But it's just not as cool as airsoft. But we've got Aussies coming over here to, that's just a testament to where the New Zealand airsoft community has gotten to. Is we've got Aussies coming over, paying to come and compete in events over here. and then we're starting to get people like Airsoft, Alfonso
Yep.
or Alphonse coming over.
Yeah.
And he double tapped New Zealand. Like he came
Yeah,
back
yeah,
within
yeah.
a
Yeah,
week.
yeah.
You know, he
Yeah.
got home and was like, "Oh, this is shit.
Yeah.
I'll go back to New Zealand."
Yeah, that's right. And I remember talking to Beno and KG when I heard that he was coming back, and I was like, "What, has he been here the whole time?" And they're like, "No, he's coming back. He had a real good time the first time round, and went home and was like, fuck this, like,
Yeah.
and jumped on a plane and came back, and
then crashed a BDR into a garage.
Yeah.
It's awesome, eh? It's so good.
and and talking about the Australians, like, I mean, like, Jono was living over in Australia, and I started playing airsoft while he was over there, and like that ripped his undies because like he couldn't play airsoft, and so the first thing you did was when you came home, you're like,
Played Airsoft.
let's go play airsoft.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
I think the other thing is we need a bit of a bigger vision, and we also need people that are willing to put in the work and like open the fucking gates, and allow these opportunities to happen, because the reality is, like, the Aussies that I've interacted with, and we've had Australians come across, like, to go to events like OPAF and things like that. And the thing is, like, they are fizzing to go to the event. Like OPAF 3, we had an amazing dude come across, and he was probably the most excited attendee out of everyone that attended that event, because for him, he's spending lots of money, he's getting on a plane, and he's coming to experience that event. So his whole mindset is geared around, like, I'm going to spend all this money to go to this event, so I want to have a good time. Yeah. So when he rocked up, he was in full, like, he had his good time pants on, like, and it's like, and dude, like, it was fucking awesome. Like, he was just so stoked to be there. There was not one little ounce of whinginess, because he's like, I'm gonna, like, this is epic, because again, like, he can't do that in Australia. Yeah. So he's like, I'm just gonna go, I'm gonna have a fucking good time, hang out with all these, guys and girls, and we're like gonna do this cool shit that I don't get to do in Australia, and have a good time. And the thing about that is, that's an entire market in itself that is pretty much untapped. There's a few small organizations that are Australian based, that are bringing Australians across to do 1 or 2 events a year. But the reality is, Australia is a big place, and it's completely untapped, and there would be a ton of people that would be more than happy to spend money to fly across to do some cool airsoft shit, and we just somewhat ignore it.
Yeah.
And
We just
like,
haven't realized, as a community, we haven't realized that
we
that
just
group
don't
is
have
there.
that mindset. It's I think it's better now, but so many years ago it was like, oh, that's those dudes, like, they do their thing, we don't get involved in that. It's just this thing that happens. We do our thing, and we leave it at that. And I think it is better these days, but again, it could be 10 times better. That could like, it takes time to build it, but that might double an event size.
Yeah. Do you think like we just don't know how to market that stuff as a community?
I think we're just too inward looking.
Yeah. We're still trying to figure out, like, our own problems first, eh?
Yeah, and as well, it's like, oh, we just go out with the boys and just have a bit of fun, and it's like, that's cool, that's fine, but the reality is, to build things, to improve things, to keep things moving forward, you need resources, and resources cost money.
Oh yeah.
End of story.
Yeah.
And how do you gain resources? Well, how do you gain money? Get more people involved. Money gives
It's
you more
ticket
resources. Yeah,
It's ticket sales.
yeah, it's numbers.
Yeah.
It's numbers. Like nothing changes. If people are concerned about, that's going to increase the amount of shitters that come along to the event. Well, we've got shitters right now.
Yeah.
So
We're already that
don't
big.
don't
That's
worry
good.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like we deal with the shitters all the time. So 100%. That's what rules are for, and that's what enforcing rules is all about. Is so then you can weed out the shitters. But shitters are shitters. Like you can't say that US shitters are worse than New Zealand shitters that are worse than Australian shitters. Like
It's a hole in the ground,
Yeah.
and then you forget about that experience. You try to block the trauma.
yeah, just like enforce your rules. So then you don't allow the shitters to flourish.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is like, look what Auckland did with America's Cup, and they built all of that infrastructure because this big event was turning up. I think in the New Zealand Airsoft community, because we hold all these events at club fields, the clubs will start to build that infrastructure to support these bigger events that are starting to occur. Because it's really just in the last couple of years that we've started really ramping up and increasing the size of these events, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I mean, it's one of the biggest problems that I hear about is the shitters and the cost of them as well. It's like, okay, well, you need them, write it off, move on. What's the next challenge?
Yeah.
Do you guys usually introduce yourselves at the beginning of a podcast or how?
Not really.
Sweet.
Yes
Really?
and no. Yeah, yes and no. Sometimes.
This is Jono.
I'm Jono.
I'm Jono. And this is Robbo.
And this is Robbo.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, everyone.
Our guest for tonight.
I do feel like a
thank you,
treasured
though,
guest
Robbo.
as well. Like
You
you've
are.
had me in your house.
You are.
You fed me. You've socially lubricated me with whiskey. It's good.
Yeah.
That's what we do,
We
man.
appreciate you.
Welcome.
It's a privilege. It really is a privilege. I think I've got the best seat here as well.
You
You can
did.
see all your cool
You
shit
did.
on the wall.
You got the most comfortable seat.
I
Yeah.
do, actually.
Yeah.
I do.
See? That's what we do for you.
You're good hosts. Good hosts.
Oh.
Cool. All right.
So,
What should we do?
well,
Let's get a bit of your background.
yeah. So,
Yeah, sweet. Cool. So I'm late 30s. Just white average male.
average white male.
I grew up as I was a farm boy. My parents were dairy shear milkers. So we moved around quite a bit when I was a kid. Spent a couple of years over in Aussie, so Victoria. I was there for about 5 years. Went to five
cool.
different schools, and then came back. Went to Pookie High for my high school years, and then took a couple of gap years, and then I joined the army.
Yep.
Joined the army in 2008 as an electronics technician, as a soldier.
What drove the decision to join the army versus just get a job?
Nah, dude, nah. So this is where recruiting went right, because there was it was a staff sergeant that turned up to our Pookie High school assemblies, and he just talked about all the cool stuff. Basically, he didn't talk about the shit stuff. He talked about the good stuff.
And there was some good, like really good recruitment videos back in the day.
Like, have you got what it takes? Like, that's a challenge. And I was fuck, I want to prove myself.
And it was a good video.
Yeah. Oh, Lara
and when
Croft
you're at that
lookalike,
transition part of your life, you're like 17, 18.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
yeah,
I've got this.
Yeah, man. And
They don't have those videos anymore.
nah, because the messaging's changed, and I'm not going to put that down publicly, but I think
Do you want to get all political on this?
No, but
Please
the other
don't.
thing, politics is the last thing that I want to start talking about. But the other thing that drove me to join the army was one of my mates. He'd already joined the army, and every time he came home, he was talking about like all of the cool challenges that he was faced with, all the cool skills that he learnt, like shooting as well, because shooting's one of my favorite things to do. You paid to get fit.
He sold it. He sold it well.
Yeah, 100% he did. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Who do I sign?
Yeah, basically, yeah. And so since then, like I started I started trying to get in.
Your friend's actually their main recruitment.
Yeah,
officer.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Your homework tonight is you go home and you tell the stories to your mate.
You've got to sway 10 friends to know.
Yeah. He's like, I know someone.
It's a pyramid scheme.
I know someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started trying to get into the army pretty much straight away. But for various reasons, I wasn't able to. But when I was doing my aptitude testing, they gave me 3 options. I was either going to join as a tanky, an armourer, or an electronics technician. And I haven't really told anyone this, but I was academically more suited to being an armourer. But I was hell bent on being an electronics technician because I wanted the qualifications that it came with. Because going down that path gave me a level 6 diploma in engineering.
Yeah, cool.
Brackets electrotechnology, and that's actually helped me out quite a bit with various parts.
It's very forward thinking.
Well, I probably
Someone's
wasn't
like,
young man.
You can go be an armourer and just play with guns all day long, or you could go get educated.
It's very counterintuitive. You're like, shooting is my favorite part. but don't want to be an armourer.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of it was I did electronics as a subject at high school.
Yeah, for sure.
In sixth
And just
form.
loved it.
Oh mate, it was my favourite subject, but they didn't offer it in 7th form.
Yeah.
I was all kinds of torn up about it because there was.
So the army filled that hole.
So you're like,
It did.
fuck you guys.
Going to the army.
Join the army.
So I joined the army and I did. So they do an apprenticeship for electronics technicians, and so it's 4 years. Completed the apprenticeship. It's basically what an electronics technician is. You basically repair gadgets. So night vision goggles, radios.
The cool shit.
Yeah, man. My favorite part was armored vehicle electronics. So like the turret and the gun. You need 3 trades to get that thing going, the lav. And you kind of learn bits and pieces of those other 2 trades. Because the gun, it's an armorer's job, but it's operated by an electronic system. So you need an electronics technician to do that side of it. And there's no real defined lines as to like where the electronics technician's responsibilities finish and when the armorers start. So it's just an electric and an armorer just jump in there and work on it together because they both know what they're doing.
Yeah, sort it out.
Yeah, basically, get that gun going. And so I got to the point where I was posted to QAMR where the labs were, and I was there for 2 years. And at the beginning, it was the end of the 2nd year where I got the opportunity to go and do my promotion course to promote from Lance Corporal to Corporal, so a junior non-commissioned officers course. When I came back from that, the boss, the platoon commander, pulled me into the office and said, "Hey, you thought about commissioning?" And then next thing I know, I'm away on commissioning course. And that's where I met Gremlin.
Yeah.
So Gremlin and I did our commissioning course together.
Yeah, cool.
So that was a year long. It sucked. It sucked. But it was where I started to learn quite a bit of those foundation leadership skills that I bring to like MIA. And so the kind of segue from that is like after a year or 2 of finishing my commissioning course, I got gripped up by WMA, the Wellington Milsim Airsoft Club. They really took me in under. I was looking for paintball. I was looking for paintball.
Really?
Yeah, man. Because I was one weekend and I was just because I was down in Wellington at the time, and I was just trying because I did speedball, indoor speedball competitively when I was a teenager. In Papakura.
Cool. All right, so it's familiar.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I was looking for paintball because I was like, oh yeah, I could get back into that. And then I found WMA, and I turned up for a game day, and it was amazing. Like the guns looked real.
Yeah,
I was like, this is cool. I get to walk around, and whilst the airsoft rounds don't leave like a paint splatter, I can leave a mark on your skin.
Yeah.
But so it's an honor bound sport, and one of the things that I liked was that with a paintball round, it kind of like just goes vzz, and it's like 10.
They're terrible.
They're
so bad.
Have you seen the rifled paintball rounds though? Like those are fucking scary looking things.
No, I haven't.
But anyway, I digress. Anyway, so but
It's not spending too much time on it.
an airsoft round like I could just hit someone from like 50 meters away, and like whilst that's nothing compared to a rifle, that was still like I'm holding something that looks like a rifle, and I'm hitting someone,
and
50
it's effective.
It's
effective.
It's got accuracy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I was like, I could get into this, and I just started trying to turn up as much as I could. And so that was how I got into airsoft.
Yeah, cool.
And how does like how did you find the airsoft community with your background with the Defence Force? Like, was it like weird at all?
It was mixed. Because there were people that are like, oh man, like we're stoked that you've been here. We want to show you what we're about, like because this is a fun time. And then there were other people that were just like, I don't really care, like where you come from or what you do. Like this is how we do it. This is how we are to do it. Like, okay, dude, like sweet, cool. But I think part of that might have been a little bit of they just didn't know who I was. And because after a couple of games, that attitude kind of just like disappeared, and then I got started to ask to do like safety briefs and stuff, and so that was kind of cool.
Do they think you're going to be some sort of
macho, kind of arrogant? Maybe. I think that's possibly what they were trying to protect themselves from, but ended up being that themselves.
Yeah.
But
because it can go both ways.
Yeah, it really can. Yeah. But I just paid never like I noted it, but I didn't pay attention to it, and I'm just here to have fun. And fun I had. And it's because there's this uphill slog that they were doing, and I'm just lying down at this bend in the road, and they just come around the corner one by one. It's boop, boof, boop, boof. And so they're just like coming around one by one. It's like, oh, this is not good for you guys. This is going to take a while to get up this hill.
Yeah. Is it something you noticed coming from the Defence Force? Was obviously like everything you're learning has a purpose and a reason to it, whereas the problem with airsoft is you just kind of like jump on in and kind of do it your own way, and which can be a bit of I think like we could all agree that airsoft as a whole definitely lacks like the team aspect.
Oh, look, I wouldn't say it's a problem. I would just say that it's like a start point. It's where people, because like if you haven't been in the military, or if you haven't been in like the police or anything, like you don't know tactics, or if you've like studied them online, you haven't really practiced them with people that have experience in tactics and that sort of thing. Because like at the end of the day, like love the game. That's what we're there to do. We're playing a game. We're there to have fun. It's not actual life or death. But one of the things that I bring to the table is that immersion. That's what I'm always aspiring for. Is like, how do I help other people feel like they're involved with the real thing? And that's a thin line to walk, because on one side of it, like real war sucks. But like you look at what Call of Duty does, like the online gaming sort of stuff, like even though you're physically not doing a heck of a lot, you're like moving your thumbs and stuff, your brain is just releasing huge amounts of endorphins every time you get that headshot, or every time you're in like not at the bottom of the table, And so by trying to get those fun parts of the immersion in the game while still challenging people, you get the best of both worlds. People have got that those endorphins releasing, but then also helping them build those real skill sets like navigation, communication, teamwork. A lot of people don't naturally have like those teamwork skills. Because it requires communication. It requires a little bit of empathy and social skills. And so like I was definitely one of those people that didn't have that when I was a teenager, but I developed it. Well, the army beat it into after a little bit of shared trauma, you definitely learn how to work alongside someone, because you're trying to escape that pain. But I'm not trying to introduce pain into the game. I'm trying to trick your senses into feeling like that challenge is there, so that your brain is thinking about it and therefore developing ways to avoid it and achieve the goal by doing something different.
Yeah. Cool.
Hopefully
Yeah.
creatively.
And we're all in this together.
Oh yeah.
Like we all hurt the same.
Yep.
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 Yeah. I think it's like anything. People can look at something from the outside and have an opinion on it, but once you dive into it, you kind of realize that you can actually get a lot out of it, a lot of good. I could definitely sit there and say there would be a lot of kids that spend their time on video games that would like benefit greatly from coming out and, you know, experiencing Airsoft and all that it has to offer.
Touching grass.
Yeah.
Just feeling air.
Yeah. Breathing oxygen.
I mean, gone are the days, in the most part, where when you go to school, like you're writing with a pen and paper, like you turn up with your Chromebook or your iPad or whatever now, and they're like, at lunchtime you go out and you kick a football around or you play Bull Rush. There's so many times Bull Rush got banned at my school.
Yeah.
But these days, like, whilst I don't
They'll
frequent
sit around in
schools
huddles
anymore,
on phones.
Yeah, man. Yeah, or
Yeah.
they're like on their tablets and not talking to each other, and so that's one of the things that results in people with their lack of social skills these days. And like one of the things that I noticed in the later stages of my army career was that people were turning up to, like, they get through the other side of basic training, but they would still barely know how to socialize with another person. They, there's social awkwardness.
Yeah, right.
And kind of noticed it a little bit in New Zealand police with the younger generations as well. Like, they'd know how to use their phones really well, which is actually really handy these days because like everything that they need is on that phone.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like policing and actually dealing with people, those social skills, they just don't seem to be as good as what they used to be with the younger generation now. And like, there's so many times where like you could de-escalate something by talking to someone, empathize, like understanding where they're coming from, and but whilst like still like holding your ground. Hey, so we're not doing that. But having the social skills to help the other person understand why that's not a good idea.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll start going into people's opinion on the police soon, so let's crack on from that.
Yeah, you're right though, because like social awkwardness and getting better at it is exactly how it sounds, which is like, I'm in a situation right now which is awkward, and
we're through the 3-minute phase though.
I need to I need to work through that. So then I get past that awkwardness, and then it's like, and then you rinse and repeat. You do it enough times, and then it's like, oh, that person over there is a confident person because they've just put themselves in a socially awkward position so many times that now they can put themselves into a awkward social situation and very quickly, with that experience, work through it and then be really comfortable in their environment.
It's like they understand how to move which muscles in their face to give across like friend gestures or look like don't fuck with me kind of guy.
Yeah. It's like, but like,
that's how people end up with these like awkward smiles.
But say if you don't, that is a skill set, and if you don't learn that skill set, you don't have that skill, and so like it's and then it's like going to be really, really tough, and it's like that's basic human shit. Like we still need to interact with each other. We can't. Technology's not that good. Yeah. That we can just like chop that out.
Yeah.
And I personally think that we'll get to. I mean, I think that's part of the attraction with Airsoft. It's the whole social element of it.
100%. Yeah, man. It's like I'd say 2/3 of the Airsoft, like the experience of Airsoft, is the socializing with other people. Like even like on the field, like you have to socialize with other people to understand like what they like and what they don't like, so that you can come up with a plan that helps them have the most fun they can possibly have.
Yeah, and that's the the horrendous challenge with you know what we do or what Benno does with MIA is your attendees are these full spectrum of people, and everyone wants their little Navy SEAL moment.
Yeah.
But the difficulty is that is impossible to create 100 different moments for 100 different people.
Yeah.
It's like, and when you take a step back, like these teams of people that do these events are tiny teams. You know, it's like one 50th of the total amount of people that want this particular experience to happen a particular way at a particular time.
Yeah, why I have a counter to that though, because one of the things that Gremlin and I do, we're providing the environment where everybody gets the opportunity to have that experience. The question is the player going to take that or recognize that that's the opportunity where they can have their Navy SEAL moment? Yeah,
create that opportunity for yourself. Like Robbo's not here to create that for you. You're kind of like
I'm sending them in the direction of the enemy, of the opposition.
Yeah, you're setting it up so then they can go flourish.
Yeah.
But if they're not in the mindset of knowing how to flourish with what they've been given, then and it's like Airsoft is so fluid. Like it's changing all the time. Like this is a funny experience that we've had with the New Zealand Airsoft League is talking to like the individual teams. Like they're coming up with, you know, plans and strategies on how they're, you know, going to dominate the next game. And the reality is, once they get in there, their whole plan turns to shit because it's so fluid. It's changing so much. It's like, like that plan's not going to work.
Or no plan survives first contact with the enemy. It's everything that happens after that. It's like how you So the military, like we're all combatants, but at the end of the day, we're professional problem solvers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're actually doing it, because there's so much of combat that isn't combat. But in Airsoft, it's just that same thing. Like if you haven't got the skills to have that Navy SEAL moment, you're not going to have it. And so one of the things that I'm working on at the moment is helping people understand that there's different layers of skills that you need to build the foundation for before you can deliberately have that Navy SEAL moment. So you've got your individual skills. So like marksmanship. And how often are you practicing that? Like how often do you get your it might sound weird, but at the end of
I totally agree. I'm only laughing because I'm like, there's probably like 1% who actively pursue something and you know, they're pursuing
continuous development.
No one does.
Yeah. And so
they pursue like holding a glass more than they getting better.
But that's that 2/3 of the social environment, though, right?
And we've seen that at a club level, being involved with committees, where we had situations where we were trying to implement like practice days and training days, and it's just like, nah. Yeah, that was the general consensus. Oh, nah, they'd rather just show up on the day and wing it and see what happens.
And as well, like back then, like you were seen to be elitist if you were trying to do things like that. It was not taken well, or the groups of people that were doing that were very isolated, and they would generally be talked about as like this elitist group, like, and definitely not in a good way. But I think with the likes of, I think MIA is such a great example of like. People that are trying to provide an experience where I don't want to say it's a requirement, but it's helpful to have a group of guys, get to know them, get to, you know, go to club games, play together, learn how to communicate effectively and things like that. And all of a sudden that is not seen as being elitist. That is just you actually doing what all sports do, which is like
you're getting more efficient at your craft.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But like, there's a key word in there as well: sport. How long have we been trying to have airsoft recognised as an actual competitive sport?
Yeah.
It's not a sport; it's a hobby.
Well, but then also like basketball could be seen as a hobby, right? It depends on how competitively you practice it.
Yeah.
And how competitively you compete at it. Like, so I when I was asked to come and help out with MIA, it was described as a competitive environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, sweet, no, that's cool. And so that's how I treated it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, like it's viewed in a different way now, and there are, you know, teams of dudes that are putting more effort in, that do want to be more effective. And like for me and John, like the way I describe it is, I just want to contribute to like the section of guys I'm with.
Yep.
Like, I just want to do a good job. Like, I'm not some high performing athlete, but just as long as they feel like I'm, putting the work in and they're happy with what we're doing. But the reality is with MIA, there is no result. Like it's not a sports game, but it's just interesting to see the dynamic change and there be more acceptance, because MIA's created an environment where that's like not only acceptable, but it's like, if there's some dudes and they just like just do an amazing job because they do actually, I don't want to say practice, but they're just an effective team. You're like, fucking rock on.
Yeah, man. And I think it's like one of the things that I've seen is that on both BDR and ETG, I've seen that teams are starting to put themselves together quite a bit more competitively.
Mm-hmm.
But in a role playing kind of scenario, there's no it's like you say, there's no winner per se.
Yeah.
Because it's not a sport, and that's one of the things that I'm excited about.
You're creating an immersion.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a scenario-based immersion,
which is my thing. Which I really enjoy that. But where NZAL comes along is that introduces that competitive environment where you can actually test yourself and be measured with results.
Most definitely.
And oh man, I'm suffering hard out from FOMO missing the last ones. I can't wait to get stuck into it next year.
And the funny thing is part of a team's success at the New Zealand Airsoft League is because of MIA. Like full stop. Like we have seen teams that have come from the MIA experience that have done well and really held their own in a proper competitive space with the NZAL because of the hard work that was done before we launched the Airsoft League. And I think people need to pay attention to that. Like there's a lot of there's work that goes on that people do or do not pay attention to that actually help create a situation for things to come in the future.
There's a saying where smooth seas don't create great sailors. Words to that effect anyway. And so one of the things that the MIA introduced was the rough seas. Man, there were some people falling apart on the MIA 6 and 7. And I don't mean to ridicule them by saying that. Like I actually applaud them for coming along and having a good nudge at it. Even the ones that walked out, because they still turned up and they had a crack. And they
because there's a lot of people that haven't or won't.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're missing out.
Yeah, but from that hardship, they've either decided, no, I can't deal with this, or they've discovered, well, actually, I can deal with this, and they've gone a little bit further than what they thought they could go. And there are a couple of people that that we're about to, tap out, and a little bit of word of encouragement here and there. It's like you're almost at the end of the first day. Like, you've got this. Like, look at last night where you were and compared to where you are today. Do you think that there's a couple of things that you could do before the next one to prepare yourself that would make life easy? And there's some players that I saw on MIA 6 where it was night and day between how prepared they were, and that just made them even more competitive. Like, they were so much more of a dangerous adversary on the field to the other team because of the choices that they made, the preparation that they'd done, and how they'd put their best foot forward on MIA 7.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And it should be hard if 40-hour Milsim's not. If a 40-hour, I'm not saying that a Milsim needs to be like hard start to finish, but it should have some challenges. Otherwise, if it doesn't have its challenges, you might as well just do a club game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. There needs to be some form of grueling challenge.
That level of complexity or, toughness on the body, that's part of the immersion.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you want to do, if you want
otherwise
to play
just call
soldier,
it a lengthy skirm.
A long walk.
The big long skirm. It's not like Milsim. It should, it's describing itself.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're trying to simulate it, be prepared to get muddy, wet, cold, tired, shitty, cranky, hungry, the whole 9 yards.
It's only 2 days.
And have some fucking fun doing it.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're heavily involved in MIA. How did that sort of come to be?
I was asked if I come and help out because Scotty Gremlin was.
I was going to say, did that come from Gremlin?
Yeah, it did. Initially, he was like.
So he was already involved.
Yeah, I can't remember when he got involved, but I think my first one that I was going to be involved with was 3 or 4, as I hold 2 fingers up. But that's just a testament to what was happening in my life at the time, because family stuff was going on. And
because where were you at that stage?
I was in Palmerston North.
Okay. You're at Palmy. Okay.
I was Palmy, but
so were you playing with Pack?
I wasn't playing at the time.
Yeah,
I got back into Airsoft because of MIA.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
But I didn't get involved back in 3 and 4 because I had family stuff going on. But it was MIA 6 where I got approached by a couple of people where they're like, "Hey, bro, we need a platoon commander for our faction, for our team. You're the perfect guy for it.
Yeah.
Where are you at?" And I said, "Hey, look, man, I've just had some family stuff go on. I said I'd turn up to one of the previous ones and had to pull out last minute. So I kind of fucked Benno over in that aspect. And there was a piece of my conscience that was just eating away at me because of it. And every time someone spoke about how cool MIA was and stuff that they needed for it, every time they talked about platoon, like there was like that poison in the pit of my soul because I knew I'd let Benno, or I felt guilty about it anyway. And so
that's just the kind of person you are.
I try to be a nice guy sometimes. A couple of people had hit me up, but it was Scotty that had hit me up again and said, "Hey man, this is what we need. Where are you at in life?" And like I did a quick quick self check. Said, "Can I do this? Like, I don't want to like leave Benno hanging again." So had a chat with the family, and then came back to Benno and said, "Hey mate, this is where I'm at. This is what I need. If we can do that, then I'm all yours as a platoon commander."
Yes, right.
And so that's how I got back into MIA and turned up for MIA 6. I was foaming, eh? I couldn't wait to crack in and
that's
do
cool.
it.
And did you feel did you feel real comfortable about going into MIA from like a leadership standpoint?
Yeah, man, because like part of what I'd done in the army is run training exercises and organize events and stuff like that. So running an event wasn't new to me. Organizing a herd of cats wasn't new to me. So it's just the biggest thing was trying to understand what Benno wanted and what he needed, and kind of just being one of those people that were watching an arc he wasn't watching, and kind of helping him out when you see something going down that wasn't in line with Benno's intent, and just kind of either dealing with it on the spot or hitting him up and be like, hey man, this is what I've seen, this is what I think, just want to confirm that's what you want. Like, I mucked that up a couple of times on MA6 and had a couple of let's call them realignment conversations where Benno realigned me with what his intent was. But it was a professional conversation, and we talked about where we wanted to go from there, and we just made it happen. So it kind of just worked.
Yep.
Because there's a element of vision, right? Like of imagination, like with like what are we trying to imagine here? How does Benno see this playing out? Because it's so difficult to create these scenarios, because you're trying to create a world, and trying to get all these players to
believe it,
to believe in it,
to immerse themselves in the illusion, because that's what it is at the end of the day, right? It's an illusion. And as well, from I'd imagine from a leadership standpoint, like even our relationship with Benno, like part of the interesting thing about talking to Benno and talking about MIA and all the nuts and bolts of it is actually like getting to like know his vision for what like he's trying to create with his events, and then going to the events and like being immersed in it and like really understanding it from like boots on the ground, in the weeds,
touching in the weeds, and that's a thing that even for me as a person is like, how do I articulate to the team this thing that's in my head?
And that's one of the most important skills that you can develop as a leader, is being able to communicate what that vision is. And the better that you can do that, the closer that you can align all the people that are helping you make that real manifest.
Because no one has that thing in your head that you have, but somehow you need to communicate it, so then it's in their head and they understand and communicate it in a way where they can go out and do it.
And it's funny because when you try to do that and you're seeing your vision manifest and it just doesn't quite manifest the way you want, like, because that's what I do when I'm giving like my platoon orders, and I'm telling the sections where I want them to go and what I want them to do, and I see a team like disappear around the other side of the battle space. I'm like, what are they doing? And then I have a think to myself, I was like, well, did I tell them like not to do that? Did I give them limits and constraints? No, I didn't. Oh, we're just gonna have to roll with it, and But then that's the whole like no plan survives contact with the enemy. It's just stuff like that happens, and that's where the professional problem solving comes in. It's like, okay, cool, that's what they've done. I just need to accept that. Does this offer me an opportunity? Like, is there a silver lining? And there kind of was, because we started hitting the other team from the other side of the field, and the other team was just like, well, where are the BDR now? Like, are they on this hill, or are they like behind us now? They created a massive dilemma, probably much to Scotty's disgust, because he was trying to deal with a whole bunch of other problems at the same time. But
and that's because there is a certain level of coordination with like Scotty, with who's on ETG, right? To be like, hey, like, are the chess pieces moving in a direction that like makes sense and is actually going to work for the game, or do we need to make some adjustments on the fly to make sure that this doesn't just turn into a clusterfuck?
Or like, am I going to send this section of airsofters into this forest to clear it and have no one there to, because I think that happened to you two a couple of times, eh?
We did actually, So we did have that that long walk that we did, but again, like for me and Jono, how was your experience, Jono, at MIA7?
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So
fucking amazing.
I like it's nice.
Yeah.
It gives me warm fuzzies.
Yeah, like we talked about it. Talked about it just the other night.
We've talked about it a lot.
And it's like, like there's that pre-nerve, like it's 40-hour Milsim, like this is massive. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Those kind of things rolling around in your head.
We try to prevent the death part.
Yeah, but then it's like, well, we're here because one, we want to support what the MIA series is all about. Two, we just want to release the shackles of being event organisers. And play
it's liberating,
the damn game.
Play Airsoft.
So like we went there with our like stuff the fact that we're at MIA or any event. We are there for us to have a great time, and that's what we did. So like, the flip side of that is like, all right, how do we achieve that? Well, if our platoon commander gives us some direction, some orders, and we're squared away, we're gonna do that to the best of our ability, And so our first movement was literally a giant walk.
It was a good walk.
The famous infills,
Yeah, but like in the back of your mind, we're like, okay, we're an infiltration team. We're being sent on a recon mission. We've got to observe. We've got to relay information. That's like, and I think that's the difference between someone who is there to enjoy the event as its entirety and enjoy it for themselves compared to just pick it apart. Because I've heard that before. Oh, what? MIA, oh, you mean the long walk? Like, yay. But like, yeah, we did a massive walk. We were out there for 4 hours or something stupid. But like, and then we got shot to shit by ETG. But it's like, hey, that's what we're there to do. That was great. Yeah. Like, I'm in the bush, with my toy guns, with my best mate, cruising around, doing what we enjoy doing. What's not to like about that?
Yeah.
So had a great time, man.
Part of it too is knowing what you like.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that, as a faction leader, and even like if you're a section commander, is knowing what are the things that the people in your team like doing the most, and how do I set up the larger chess piece battle with Scotty to enable those things to happen. So like, who likes the CQB stuff? How can we get like a close quarter kind of like forest battle going on? Because we didn't really have any urban stuff.
Yeah.
Like we had a little bit of a little bit of urban stuff at 6, but it wasn't like door kicking. It was just defend the sheds pretty much.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of CQB in there. And if you got like the sniper rifles with, what was the MED for sniper rifles?
At 7.
Yeah. What did you guys have to comply with? Was it 10?
Well, I had a DMR, so I think mine was 15 meters.
Yeah, cool.
But like the dual levels with MIA, I think we could clearly say that they're higher than their average dual limits.
Yeah, so for like you guys doing your DMR stuff, like I wasn't going to send you guys into a close quarter thing, but I was going to send you guys out for is Overwatch, because the opposition that are also getting involved with the CQB stuff, they need to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And so if you can shoot them from a distance, then you're whittling down their forces, which means that, our own forces are going to have a higher chance of success, going through the trench.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is just understanding who likes to do what and what they're equipped for as well. If you can set up those set pieces, so to speak, everyone has more fun.
Yeah.
But even when you get shot, like you're still like in the thick of it, and you're one kill. Oh, I just got wasted. Oh, that was still awesome. That was sick.
Yeah. And it still requires like a level of communication again to yourself and be like, this is what our capabilities are. This is what our kind of interests are. And then you're like, oh, cool, sweet. Like I will send you out to do the appropriate things based on that.
Yeah.
Versus like, I rock up with like an SR25 and I'm like, I want to go do some CQB shit, man. Like, you're going to be like,
Yeah.
what?
You're like, what a fucking weirdo.
you got a 2-joule fucking DMR there, mate. Like,
I'm sending you on a long walk.
and then me being like, oh, like, man, I just went for a walk for like 2 hours. Like, I wanted to go do CQB stuff with my SR25.
And it's
like
there's also a level of like accepting, you know, like that's the role that you've been given, you know?
Yeah.
You know, because that's part of the immersion, you know, like in like a real world combat situation, which you've trained for, you know, there's, you know, like we're talking about off camera, you know, when the, you know, when you're hungry and tired and it really turns to shit, you know, sometimes all that planning and all that, he does this and he does that goes out the window, you know? You know?
And it becomes you are too, and you go and do it, because if you don't do it, well, and that. So
we like, you know, like, Julian from Wellington, he was our section commander, and he's like, right, we're a recon element. We're like, cool, sweet, sounds good. You know,
yes, we are.
We didn't go into MIA like, oh, I hope we're not a recon unit. I hope we're not this. You know,
oh
like,
shit, we're a recon unit.
You know, you're a recon unit. You've got to infiltrate, you know, enemy areas.
You're going to do a lot of walking, man.
You're going to relay some information. You're going to, you know, find things. You're going to, you know, pinpoint things on a map. Cool, sweet. That's what we're here to do then.
Yeah,
let's go do it.
And one of the things that that I can improve on a little bit as well is because I didn't actually realize you guys were recon to begin with. Yeah. All I knew was that I had three sections, and so I was just treating it like wheeling and dealing rifle sections basically.
Yeah, right.
Like everyone was just because everyone starts.
That's a fire team. There's a fire team.
Yeah, basically, man. Yeah, but I think it wasn't until. I actually can't remember the moment that I realized. It's like, oh, okay, you guys have got sniper rifle looking things.
I was just going to say, was it when you seen my big fucking gun?
I think it was, yeah. It's like kind of gillied up with this long-barreled rifle.
He's a small dude. He can make a pistol look massive.
Yeah, it's literally bigger than I am. But I want to go do CQB. Yeah. I don't want to walk. They made me walk.
Oh man,
it was great. Those, like, you know, we only done a sort of select few missions, and they were big, but we had a blast.
Nice,
doing all of them.
And that's what we try to create for people, right? It's those opportunities to have a blast.
Oh, you were great.
Yeah,
yeah, we loved getting orders from you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah,
there was a few times we're like, do we really need to do that right now? Can't we just go to bed?
Yeah, but again, it's never going to work for anyone if like an individual person doesn't have the mindset. Like if they're just like, I don't want to do any of this, it's like it's not going to work for them, and it's not going to work for you.
Yeah,
and it's like then it becomes a situation of like, why are you even here?
Yeah, it's that attitude thing, eh? Because like the only person that can control or do anything about your own attitude is yourself. Like even like. Because we had, like, our section commanders were pretty good for the most part. Even if you didn't have any skills, like, if you had the ability to follow that leader and even just get shot. Yep. Like, if you had the right mindset, the right attitude, you'd still have fun doing that. Because every time you made a mistake, like, every time you get shot, you're just like, oh, that sucked. Okay, this is what I'm going to do differently. And then you come back. You get a little bit further, maybe you shoot a guy, and then you get to the next trench, and then you get shot. Come back. And then just, you're like continuously getting better every time you make a mistake. It's like, what's that Tom Cruise movie where he's just getting killed and restarting back at
Edge of Tomorrow?
Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah. I actually really like that movie.
That's a great movie.
Like, man, he
That's awesome.
died in some horrific ways, but like the thing was that he learned from every single one of those experiences. And it's the same in Airsoft Milsim, is like, or any kind of airsoft.
Isn't that just a story for life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
It's like, it's that storming the building with 10 guys in it, and you're like, fuck.
Unless
not doing that
guys.
again. Yeah. Unless you're the 10 guys
I'm
in there.
I'm going to bring 10 guys with me next time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and me and John, I would have had plenty of moments during MIA 7 where I was like, oh, I could have done that better.
Man, I was doing that like after every time I gave a set of orders or sent someone to do something. It's like, oh, I should have told them this as well.
Well, I got made 2IC, and when we had our our briefing, your amazing briefing, and I looked around and everyone's got like whips out the pad and pen, scribbling everything down, and I'm just standing there feeling like a real knob.
Yeah,
because you didn't have a pen and paper.
Because I didn't have a pen and paper. I was like, fuck, I'm letting my team down.
Just
like,
got a straw hanging at your mouth.
yeah, I suck.
Like I genuinely got nervous when after you done your mud map thing, and then you started like asking all the like each squad a question about like what just happened.
You're like, oh, he expected us to listen.
I was just like, oh man, don't ask me anything.
Yeah, Robbo, don't.
And then I give you the 5-finger death.
I'm like, come on.
Hey, where are we going?
Yeah.
Oh,
did you write all that down, Jono?
I was thinking, come on, Julian.
Yes, sir. Yes,
come on.
I did.
Absolutely.
Let's hope our section commander's got all the answers.
Yeah. He knows what we're doing. Yeah.
And that was just for the long walk to begin with.
Yeah.
Like I'm just telling you to walk somewhere.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, a lot of it was completely over my head.
And that's okay because like next time we do the same thing, you'll have absorbed a certain amount.
Oh man, I've been here before.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my notepad and pen out.
And then it'll rain, and then you realize, oh, I should have brought like the weatherproof.
Yeah. You fucking idiot. That's it. As you're like tearing holes in the paper because it's wet.
Yeah.
But it comes back to exactly what you're saying, which is like it's actually also just a learning experience, and everyone is learning. So like, next time you go, it's like bring your pen and paper, your pencil and paper, Jono. If you want to be super fancy, get the waterproof one because like it might rain.
Yeah.
And then you'll look real cool.
You look squared away.
Yeah. And then you'll that time round you'll know 10% more than you did before. But
that's another saying as well though. Like if you can learn or be 1% better than the last time you did something, then that's a win, right? So
again, it's your intention, right? Like we were talking earlier about. We were talking earlier about becoming parents and your intention of being a good parent. Like it's exactly the same, right? Like the people that are going to end up being awesome and not necessarily the people that are awesome in that moment. But if their intentions are right, they will be awesome. Yeah. You know, like and I think a lot of the time you can see it. I think there's like huge you can see the differences in attitude with people. Yeah. Some people are like, this is shit, and then others are like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now, but like
I'm gonna make the most of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, I walked in here and I saw this. I'm like, holy moly, this is amazing. Like this looks professional as, but I haven't seen the struggle that you guys have gone through to get to this point. But you guys are probably looking at this, but
just
like
jump on YouTube
and stuff, and
all the podcasts we couldn't release because we completely fucked them up.
Yeah, well, but that's right. But I mean, you learn from that, right? And like you kind of start to develop your own SOPs, or your standard operating procedures, right? Like your own mental ones. Yeah. And because like you guys,
I have a list.
You have a list. Is that on your notebook and pen that you bring to orders? Like all of those podcasts that like allegedly you say you've marked up, like that's us as professionals professionally critiquing ourselves.
Yeah, well, 1% better now, so we're good.
Yeah, right. But I mean, I get that because with all the YouTube videos that I've made, you look at my first one, which is horrendous, compared to my latest one, which arguably in my mind is also
2019
horrendous.
OPEF one.
Oh yeah,
go back and watch that.
Yeah.
Cringe.
It's there.
That's cringe as hell. It's great.
I'll do that.
But it's
I piss myself laughing when I watch that.
It is
and I drag it out. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, but isn't it like it is a great reminder to be like, oh yeah, we were there once upon a time, and that was like top tier.
Yeah,
you know, like that was like the first time having having someone actually stand in front of a camera and promote an airsoft event in New Zealand, and we gave it a crack.
Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Yeah.
And we're like, and I still remember like, yeah, crush that, put that out there, and it's like, but like in the moment, like, yeah, for like what was happening in the airsoft scene at the time, like we were crushing
we're like,
it.
that's fucking awesome.
We're like cool, man.
Good,
like,
go us.
Like everyone else can get fucked.
Yeah.
If they've got something bad to say because no one else is doing it. So
it's unfortunate we don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because you set yourself that bar, right? And then that becomes your minimum standard.
Yeah.
And then if you don't achieve that the next time, you don't quite feel so happy that with your work, right? Because it's like the what's the word I'm looking for? Something in your craft. Professionalism. Let's go with that for now. Yeah, I'll wake up at like 3 a.m.
Yeah,
oh, that was the work.
I'll text Jono right now. And
pride in your craftsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're being corrected. But what I think some people don't realize is that even though it might look worse for that second one, you've really just focused on the stuff that you were more critical about yourself on the first one, but you've just noticed a different scratch in your car, so to speak.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, you're just working through what doesn't work.
Yeah, and you're just slowly polishing it up, and that just takes time because you learn what good looks like because you start creating it.
Yeah, and you do one or two things: you get better, or you give up.
Yeah,
and the reality is, I was having this conversation with Josh Sheed the other night. We were talking about businesses, and I sent him a stat which was up to, what was it? It was like up to 70 or 80% of all businesses fail in the first 3 years.
Yeah, man.
And he goes, oh man, that's like super sad.
And there's another percentage after that, like in the next 10 years, that fail as well. And supposedly New Zealand is built on small businesses.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that have failed. Because I think about VRA and the number of times where I could have just like given up and walked away from it because it was like, oh, fuck, that was terrible. That didn't work. Like, all of this time and effort that I'm putting into it, like, is it really worth it? And like to this day, I still don't know, but I love doing it. That's like, I love getting better at it.
Dude, like the, I think I definitely think that some people think that we are just raking it in.
I'm sorry for the laughter, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. The disappointing thing is
we're not raking it in.
If people knew the hundreds of hours that I've had to put in, which is hundreds of hours that I can't charge out for the businesses that actually put food on the table. So I have moments where if I think about it too much, it's pretty disappointing.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's like, fuck. Like, I could have put all that time into my business that actually pays my bills and makes me money, and if I think about it too hard, I'm like,
what am I doing?
Fuck that. Like, since
why am I doing this?
Or spending time with people you love.
Yeah.
As well. Time's one of those resources that we don't get anymore. Like, you can't create more time.
No.
Like, what we've got is what we've got. We don't actually know how much we've got.
Yeah.
But then the other one as well is how much money have you sunk into it as well. Like, that's money that you don't really get much of a return on.
Yeah, and the hard thing is okay, like if let's say 70% of all small businesses fail within the first 3 years, special effects, or even like the business that does put food on the table, I don't feel secure whatsoever.
Yeah,
because things can change, and then all of a
things
sudden
have changed. Like, look at what COVID did globally, not just to New Zealand, globally.
Yeah,
and let's not complain about what the government's done, but let's just look at like socially what's happened. So, like, for me personally, that's when I was starting VRA up. The initial vision for VRA was...
tell us, what is VRA, Robbo?
Yeah.
VRA.
Let's give us an introduction.
Down that road.
Okay, here we go.
Sell it, buddy.
This is the part where I don't stop talking or taking a breath. So VRA stands for Virtual Reality Action. It all started when virtual reality started growing. It was that first kind of like the bottom of the graph, so to speak.
Yeah.
And So one of the lads was it was a stag do, and we went to a place in Auckland called VR Studio, and so what they had was think of like an internet cafe, so like computer PCs everywhere, and you got those little dividers, but instead of like a computer and a seat and a divider, you had almost a cubicle, and so there were 10 of them around the edge of the room, and so you walk into this cubicle. And there's a headset dangling down from this rope in the middle of the ceiling. It's like bungee cord or something. And so the model of the VR headset was the HTC Vive. And so anyway, you step into the cubicle, you pull down the VR headset, you put it on your hand and on your head, and then you get given a couple of controllers, one for each hand. And then all of a sudden, you just feel like you're in this completely different world. Like where you look, like you move your head around and everything, the picture in the headset changed. And so the initial vision that I had was to basically set that up in those white gazebo type things that you can get from the warehouse.
Yeah.
It was basically buy one of those, get a couple of headsets, and have a couple of people playing in it, like a portable internet cafe. At like Sunday markets and stuff like that. So that was kind of where it started. And there's titles like Beat Saber, and I can't really remember anything else because I spent most of my time playing Beat Saber when I first got into VR. So that's kind of where it started, and then COVID hit, and I was like, fuck. Now what am I going to do? Like I can't have people come and physically visit. And so that's kind of where VRA went from providing a service to content creator. So started learning about YouTube videos, Instagram, and that sort of, and like those kind of platforms were still very much in the infancy as well. So they didn't have the tools that they've got to manipulate stuff like what we've got today. But anyway, I didn't really have enough time to dedicate to getting into like having enough like watch hours and that sort of stuff for YouTube to turn that into a business. So it was still very much at the hobby stage back then. And then it wasn't really until so this kind of weird sort of timeline, because I went from being an officer in the army to having a crack at being a pilot in the Air Force. Didn't quite make it, but then came out the other side of that going, well, I can help other people build virtual reality flight simulators. I know enough about flying to be able to help other people learn like how to familiarize them, like because I was obsessed with flying.
Almost like a training aid.
Yeah, very much so.
To help people work towards, becoming a pilot in the Air Force type situation.
Yeah, or at least giving them enough familiarization to give them a good enough shot. Yeah, man, yeah. And so started looking at building procedural trainers for Cessnas for 150s and 152s, and I actually had a person coming in once a week. For a little while, because I moved house and that kind of threw everything into the ground again. You
just wanted to challenge yourself a little bit more?
Yeah, a little bit more. But yeah, I had someone coming in and they went out on their first solo after, I think it was a month of doing 1 or 2 sessions in my VR flight sim, and then doing one real flight. And so what they did is they would just come back with the things that they needed to learn from the real flight, get a couple more reps of doing that, going back to the real flight and consolidating it, and they progressively got closer towards being able to do it without, because they probably would have needed to spend another couple of months if they didn't have the VR stuff. That's what
I suppose too, from that situation, when you're in a real world scenario, like you're in an aircraft, trying to learn a thing, that's when the whole the endorphin thing and the releases in the brain can really sort of take over.
Yeah.
We're in a VR platform. You're like, I'm on the ground. I'm in some dude's shed.
Yeah.
In a sim.
Some dude's shed. Yeah. It's an inaccurate statement though.
Yeah. Like I'm on the ground. I'm good. So that fear element is not there.
Yeah. That's
so,
right.
and it's that they can like, you can be like, oh, you stuffed that up, mate. Do it again. You know, do it again.
That's right, and there's also a lot of stuff going on when you're flying as well. Like going from like flying the Texan, you're landing at 120 knots, whereas in the Cessna, your landing speed is something like 40.
Yeah,
40 knots.
Yeah, huge difference.
Yeah, massively. So
there must be some massive like advantages just around familiarizing yourself with like the cockpit. Like where is everything?
Yeah, absolutely. You know? So there's this thing called the cardboard cutout. And so it's literally a cutout of where all of the switches and fuses are in your cockpit. And so one of the things that we would do is called visualization. Now, initially when I was introduced to it, I was like, oh, you want me to imagine stuff that's cool, but it's actually super handy because visualization effectively gives you another repetition of doing a thing. Yep. And so you're sitting there reading this checklist of what to do when your plane's on fire, and you don't know where all the switches are. You've got the top, like you're sitting in the cardboard cutout and you're like, okay, sweet. So there's the lever I need to pull that cuts off the oil and the fuel to the engine, which is what's going to stop me from blowing up. And if you don't know instinctively where that is when the real thing happens, you're going to blow up. So being able to...
You're going to burn alive.
Yeah, and so you got your hand on the joystick and your other hand on the throttle, and just being able to start... I know this looks dodgy, but when you when you start to build that muscle memory of, okay, my hand's here, I need to reach back here, and you can do that without looking at it because you know what it feels like. You can't do that in the cardboard, but you know where to move your hand because you've can see it on the cut. That's right, yeah. And so that's one of the progressions to go from the cardboard cutout to the simulator, which is where it is a 1-to-1 scale model, and it works. Like all the buttons are pushable and all the levers are throwable. And so when you actually reach back and you feel the thing that feels exactly the same as what's in the cockpit, and you pull it, and visually and orally, you see and hear the same thing that happens in the actual jet. So that's another rep that you get. But if you don't know where that thing is, like you're still too busy looking for where it is. Whereas if you've done it in the cardboard cutout, you already know and you've already practiced it.
So how many aircraft do you run through
the VR headset? Oh man, I've lost count, dude. Because
so you got a lot.
Yeah, man. I like even just in Microsoft Flight Simulator in and of itself, the like everything that's on that list that comes by default, and there's so many mods that you can get as well. But if we're talking about the ones that I personally have practiced on, it's pretty much just the Cessna.
Yeah, right.
In Microsoft Flight
and most of your clients, that's the most common thing you're going to see.
Yeah, I've had a boy come through that he wanted to fly a 777, a Dream.
That was the young dude you were telling me about.
Yeah, man.
At UX.
That was actually a really cool challenge for me because I know nothing about those big rig aircraft, and I don't want to bar.
And had he had any sort of flight?
None.
Nothing.
No. Well, sorry, War Thunder.
Right.
That's what he was expecting, and I wasn't.
So he went from a Spitfire to a Boeing 747.
I don't even know what he was flying, and because he talked about it a little bit, but he didn't really tell me what aircraft it was. But I mean, in War Thunder, it's a combat aircraft, whereas a 777 is like it operates quite a bit differently. But also like the other thing as well, because he was playing it on console, so he was using an Xbox controller, a PlayStation controller. And one of the things that I challenged myself with was giving him the most immersive experience that he could possibly get.
For sure.
And he turned up with scale model replica yoke and throttle quadrant. Yeah, and he's looking at it and I'm trying to go through like the full process of what you would actually do before a flight. So on the TV in the corner, I had like the weather service, Met service with like what the forecast was to fly from, I'm pretty sure it was from like Wellington to Ahakia. And so we were looking at the weather and it was kind of lost on him. He didn't really want to bar of it. He's like, I just want to get in and fly the thing. I was like, okay, cool, man. But his grandfather was looking at it and he's like, this dude knows some stuff. Because like I had, awesome. Yeah, man, because the next page on the TV was the flight plan. Like I'd done a full flight plan, like IFR and how we were going to get there and all that sort of stuff. And so anyway, I get him set up and pulls the headset on, and he just spends like a couple of minutes just looking around the cockpit, and he's just like, whoa.
It'd be super fascinating, eh?
Oh,
just looking around.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like even if you've seen pictures of what those Dreamliner cockpits look like when you're actually sitting in it in VR, you're like, I actually feel like I'm in a jumbo jet pilot seat. Like, this is mint. And then I started talking about ATC's given us permission to taxi to whatever runway it was via this. It's like, oh, how do we do that? It's like, cool, man. So what you're going to do is give it a little bit of throttle. We're going to test the brakes, and you're going to use your rudder pedals to steer yourself out. Straighten up, and we'll go down here. Take your next left. Take the right down the end, and line up. Sweet, cool. Permission to take off. And so then we took it, and like just all of that sort of stuff. It kind of just like tuned him into focus on what. So it wasn't just like this. He wasn't just playing a game anymore. There was a little bit of immersion. He actually felt like he was sitting in the seat of it, like, because he could feel pretty close to the real thing. He was getting some feedback which was kind of like the real thing. Like I'm not an ATC guy, like I don't know like the proper procedures, but I've heard a lot of them from when I was doing wings course stuff. And one of the unfortunate things was, I think his mum said do a barrel roll, and that didn't go so well in a jumbo jet, so we ended up resetting it because I wanted him to have the full experience, and so we got from A to B, and then like, because we're doing all the radio calls, and then we're landing, and then what you do after you land and all that sort of stuff, and once we'd brought it to a halt, we shut the engines down and everything, and pulled the headset up, and like, what do you think of that? It was like, that felt like I was actually flying a jumbo jet. It's like, sweet, cool, that's good, my job here is done. And he walked away, and they so I think I asked them for like $10 for that whole experience, and the dad gave the kid like another $50, and they gave me $50, and like that gave me the warm fuzzies, because my intent was to make him feel like, because
created that immersion.
I created that immersion. I keep on using the word illusion. I think that kind of like depreciates what we actually do by creating these experiences.
You know, people. We're all in a simulator, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the Matrix.
Life is the Matrix. Yeah, but I love.
It's kind of a test case for you internally, right? To be like, I have this idea, vision of like this thing I'm trying to create for people when they come in and see me, and that's kind of like the test case, right? And that must have been like a great feeling when like you know, it might not be exactly where you want it to be, but the feedback you got from them was like awesome. Like they had a good time. Like that it kind of ticked that box. Yeah, and it's also quite humbling to feel that appreciation from, like, because that kid's whole family went away buzzing. Because like I'd set up like I got these blue chairs that kind of like couch type things, and I'd set them up in rows, kind of like what a passenger jet's got as well. And so they were all sitting in it, and just like chirping at him and stuff, and like giving him a shit, and but like they felt like they were part of the experience as well. I was expecting the kid and his dad, and it was like the whole tribe of his family.
So have you got monitors set up so they can see what he's doing as well? Yeah,
just so on the computer monitor you can see like different programs show it differently, because some of them,
as he moves his headset around, like, is it showing what he is seeing?
So they could see what he was seeing, which was really cool.
Nice.
Which would have been a whole nother thing for you as well, because I think you were about to say it before, which was, you were just expecting him and his dad to come along, and they would be directly interacting with the simulator, whereas you had this whole other subset of people which got entertainment as well from these other people that were actually doing the thing, because they weren't doing the thing like the kid was doing it, but they were still entertained as well.
And because I think to a degree they kind of felt like they were in that cockpit with him, like, you know, in some aircraft you can crowd around the pilot seat. They were kind of doing that a little bit.
That's cool.
And I do kind of felt like I let them down a little bit afterwards, because they were talking about bringing their grandfather in for like a Spitfire kind of experience. But then we moved house, and then I went away for work and all sorts of stuff. I still haven't set up the new facility or the new hangar yet. Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Your life is complicated.
So what's the future for VRA? Where's that heading?
That's a good question, because I'm kind of being pulled in a couple of different directions. So there's the flight sim community that want to do the civilian stuff. There's the flight sims community that want to do the combat aviation stuff. There's some people that just want to be in the thick of a dogfight, and there's other people that just they want from all the way back at the friendly air base with the aircraft completely turned off, and they want to go through and flick all the switches and get the jet turned on from scratch, getting all the right bombs or missiles. There's different type of combat missions that require different types of ordnance. Like if you're doing a combat air patrol, you need air-to-air missiles. If you're doing close air support, you need some guns and some bombs to drop on it. Or if you're doing like a bombing run on a specific like hardened target, you need massive bombs. That means that you can't carry anything else because they're so darn heavy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like one area of what, and there's a lot of stuff going on there. And then layer on top of that, I do Twitch streaming sometimes, but I'm starting to get rid of that because it's kind of distracting the people that are in the event, because I'm trying to chat with people in the chat, and then I'm trying to communicate with people that are in the event. So I'm starting to throw that to the wayside. But I still record stuff to make YouTube videos out of it. So I'm doing that. I'm still doing that content creation side, and then using Instagram to help generate that awareness and get the word out that that's what I'm doing. So there's multiple layers to, and that's just the flight sim side of it, because then I've got the shooter side of it, where in VR we've got first person shooters, which I haven't really discussed tonight yet, but it's just the boots on the ground experience. So we've got what you guys know me for, helping run airsoft events, because that in the sim part of Milsim, right? It's a military simulation. So trying to get as much immersion as we can as possible. And then you can do the same thing in VR, virtual reality. I love that too, because with the headset that I use, the Quest 3, you can do that without any wires attached to it. And so the only thing that really limits you is the amount of space that you've got to play in, and the length of the battery life.
Well, I've seen that where it looks like an indoor CQB airsoft event. It looks like a speedsoft event, but they're all like, there's just like a bunch of people around a basketball court as spectators, and all these dudes running around with VR headsets on, and they've got these huge monitors, and you can like on the monitors you see a full town. It's just an empty basketball court, and they're like full on like VR shooter comps, like it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the things that I like about the VR first person shooter stuff is that you can practice a certain number of things in that to help prepare you for airsoft events.
Yeah, right.
So you can practice a bit of marksmanship. You can practice transitioning from your long gun to your sidearm. You can practice communications because it's got a radio. Like this is online gaming, man. But in virtual reality. So if you think of other titles, like, because we do stuff in like Armor 3 or Armor Reforger, we trialed a whole heap of different ones. Some of the guys using Squad as well.
Can you use, like, can you do VR with Squad?
No, not. It's work in progress. 'Cause the challenge that I have at the moment is scale in VR, because at the moment we're limited to like 4 to 6 people playing cooperatively in VR, whereas I want like the Battlefield scale where you've got like up to a company, so like 120 people on the same team, either boots on the ground in an armored vehicle or flying something.
Can the tech do it?
It can do it, we just need to program it. So like we've got ones that do flight sim and the boots on the ground stuff separately, but it's not integrated yet.
Do you think though eventually VR will get to a point where it takes over the console or the PC?
No, I don't think so, because I think what will happen is it'll integrate more effectively what it is at the moment. So a little while back on Instagram, I threw out a story where it's like a virtual reality Q&A, like, what do you guys want to know? And one of the questions that someone asked me was, where do you want virtual reality to go? And where I want VR to go is the integration between VR headsets and PCs to be more plug and play than what it is at the moment. Because at the moment, there's so many technical challenges with the Quest 3. The native program that you download onto your PC for them to integrate it's a horrific experience when it comes to working your way through it. And like, so that's the Quest 3. So like, Meta, like, sort your stuff out, because there's other programs that are doing that seamlessly. And so I don't use the Meta software. I use other software,
right?
Which kind of backdoors it a little bit, and it just makes it run seamlessly. And it's wireless. One of the challenges, I actually have more of a technical challenge running virtual reality when it's plugged into the PC with a cable, because of the software that you have to use to run it. So one of the places that I want to get to for VRA is having like 4 VR headsets that I can just either plug into the PC so that we can do our VR flight sim stuff, or I can just have them wirelessly and people just rocking around as shooters, like kicking indoors and stuff.
Yeah, cool.
Because like Moy Dog is a YouTuber that I follow, and he does a lot of different content, but he does a lot of squad stuff.
Oh yeah.
And just thinking about the whole VR stuff, you know, because you can, you know, fly helicopters, drive vehicles, or you know, just be a soldier, and like, just, you know, surely there'll be a day where, like you say, yeah, maybe some people will still play it on some form of PC or whatever that looks like in the future. But then also, like, if you're a VR guy, you can just jump on with your VR, doing it at that scale, and you can, you know, go fly or drive or whatever it is within squad, which is really big scale.
Yeah.
That'd be a pretty amazing experience, I'd imagine.
Well, it's actually just triggered a memory. There's a game called Star Citizen, which is very recently integrated VR. And so, do you guys know what Star Citizen is? So it's an MMO sci-fi first person shooter, but it's got, you can boots on the ground, you can fly spaceships. So you can have like space battles, you can fly in atmosphere and have like dogfights and stuff in the atmosphere. You do gun runs, like they recently introduced, I think it's like bomb rails for the smaller fighters, so they can drop bombs, and there's like tanks and different vehicles. And so I think that at the moment is probably the closest thing to what I want, because what I really want is armor in VR.
Yeah.
That's basically my weird dream.
Armor and squad are very similar.
They're kind of similar. So my preference is armor, because you can set up your own scenarios, you can set up your own maps and all that sort of stuff. Whereas, like, you can probably do that in squad, but I've found squad not to. Well, I haven't figured out how to do it in squad if you can, but also squad is more of a PvP type thing. Whereas in armor, it's more of a co-op experience against AI sort of thing. And so that's what I'm trying to help people learn how to do. And so this is where my leadership in the Airsoft world comes into play, is that I'm trying to help build teams. You know, and so that include, like, right from the basic skills, like your individual skills, learning how to operate with another person, how to operate as a team, how teams operate with other teams, like how to, and then throw leadership on top of that as well, because for a team to operate effectively, it needs someone to have leadership skills.
You can't just run around and run and gun.
Yeah, and like I don't know where people can commonly get those leadership skills from outside of the military. If you guys know, please tell me. So, and the reason
well,
why
it requires the leadership. Well, sorry, it requires leaders that can teach leadership.
And it also...
And people are very scared to do that.
Yeah, I think people should just rip the Band-Aid off and have a go, because no one is, well, very seldom is someone naturally a leader.
Mm-hmm.
It comes through making mistakes over and over again. And one of the downsides of developing leaders is that until in order to develop those skills, you have to make the mistakes, but the mistakes require people to get fucked around. And so that's like the downside of developing leaders. But that's why the military puts so much time and resource into developing leaders, because if we don't have effective leadership in the military, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Just sending people to their death.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sending the kittens out there. Yeah. But it's the like you see the extreme of that in Airsoft. Like just to get a small group of people, or even a singular person, to like communicate vocally to the people around them that there is a person over here at roughly this distance is near impossible. Because people, for like whatever reason, are so timid. There's this weird feeling that if I, open my mouth and communicate, that's somehow a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking loudly. You're arrogant. No, man, I'm just trying to tell you
Oh,
where the
you're
bad
that
dude is
guy.
so that you can go and shoot him as well.
Oh, you're that dude. Oh, we don't do that here. Yeah, and it's but the reality is, for everyone that has been played a game, been in an environment where even one person has the courage to do that, and it's one of those things, right, where like I think a lot of the time if one person did it, it would encourage the next person to do it, and then before you know it, you've got an entire section of people or group of people, whatever it might be, comfortable to communicate.
Yeah, but then the other thing with leadership as well is that they publicly get torn to shreds when they make mistakes as well.
Oh, really?
Oh, you've experienced this yourself.
No, never. It's all rainbows and butterflies, and
so it takes a little bit of psychological resilience though to develop that leadership. Because like the first time you do it, it's gonna be terrible. Like, or you're gonna fuck someone off because not everyone wants the same thing, and so being able to have that psychological resilience to not take some of that feedback, which in and of itself probably isn't that constructive as well either. To take the constructive stuff out of that feedback, and kind of find a way to change your behavior so that the next time that you do it. The next time you get feedback, it's either about something else, so you can start polishing something else, or it's going to help you refine what you've just done a little bit more as well. Yeah. But even just that talking on a radio thing, it exists in the aviation realm as well for flight sim. So there's a community called VATSIM, which I think is virtual air traffic simulation. And so they've got people that are actually role-playing as air traffic controllers, and so they're giving out
really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's actually it's really cool, dude. But there's quite a lot of people that
there's basically a sim for real life, like anything you can think of.
Yeah, and so
I did. There is it Armour or one of those similar games where you can be like an aircraft mechanic, and you can maintain like vehicles and aircraft. Like I can't remember what game it was, but someone was saying there is a game, and yes, you can be the pilot of that helicopter and fly it around and all the rest of it, but in the game the helicopter requires maintenance, and you actually have to have someone playing this game as a mechanic that has to maintain that helicopter. Otherwise, the dude playing the pilot can't fly the helicopter. And I was just like, that blew my mind that there is someone that plays a game as a mechanic.
Yeah.
To a degree, that does exist in Armour. in at least in Arma 3 anyway, because like if nothing else, helicopters need to be refueled, repair as well. Like if they're getting shot up, you still need to replace things because the performance starts to suffer as well. Like
it becomes a piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah. Or it like because I mean I've been flying a helicopter in Arma 3.
I'm 1,000 hours over an oil change. Fuck.
Yeah, we're flying a helicopter into the AO after like doing 3 or 4 trips, and I think it was like the rotor blades just flew off or something.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it was a maintenance issue or if I just pulled too much.
The
torque
Jesus
on the
nut came off.
Yeah. Well, but in Digital Combat Simulator, that's actually a thing as well. I remember there's a guy that I'm quite good mates with. Him and I were just jousting with Hueys over a runway. I think it was just fixed machine guns on either side. And he was trying to outturn me, and he pulled too hard on the collective, and I just saw this rotor blade fly off. Like, holy smokes! And I turned over my shoulder, and sure enough, there he like plummeting to the ground, and
flaming ball on the ground.
So like that stuff is simulated, which is really cool.
Yeah, well,
it's
full on.
Yeah, it's just like where video games were so much about, again, like the Navy SEAL moment.
Yeah,
you want to be the pilot, you want to shoot the guns, you want to do all the hardcore stuff, and it's just interesting to know that there's people out there that are like, nope, I'll be the guy that fixes it.
Yeah.
So you can fly it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
absolutely.
fucking hell, man! Like you could do that in real life,
Yeah, and get paid for it.
Like like actually touch it, undo the bolts and
touch some grease.
Yeah.
Oh no. Can't do that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, there's, hey, maybe it's even a retired mechanic from like the Air Force or something like that, and not saying it needs to be that, but someone that's never going to be in a situation where they could actually do that for a job. It kind of fills that void for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Fills the fantasy.
Yeah. Well, it's like I remember years ago how Google Maps went out and I think they did it with like famous places you could like rock climb.
Oh yeah.
And they made the mapping accessible, so you could like go, like you could actually on Google Maps like go climb these like famous rock faces, and obviously simulate going up this rock face, which people do in real world in the real world, and the basis for it is like for the people that would never be in a position to do it themselves. They can very simply go and have some form of experience, see the same views, climb the same wall, because then they'll never be in a position to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it kind of the same could be said for flight sim. Like, how many people actually get the opportunity to fly real F-16?
Oh, dude, and like those simulators these days, the ones that I've seen are ridiculous, amazing. Like, I'll be like, yeah, if I knew someone that had one of those, which we happen to know, that like boys are boys, and you see that you're like,
and we love to play with toys.
That would be fun.
Yes, it would.
I can be Maverick for a day.
Yeah, but yeah, some of them are crazy, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild how you can just have that in your like lounge these days.
Yeah.
Versus that used to be, once upon a time, that used to be like millions of dollars that a defense force would have to train their pilots, and it cost them millions of dollars and for every single person that used it. And now it's like, yeah, you can just have that in your lounge.
Oh, dude, I remember being in Christchurch and going to the Air Force Museum down there and flying in the little Spitfire simulator they've got there.
Yeah.
Thinking that was like badass hardcore. And now it's like, man, you can have that in your lounge like 1,000 times better. It's wild.
You talk about Wigram, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So doing what I do actually ruined that for me, because with where I was at in VRA at that stage, I went in and had a go. I was like, oh, this is terrible.
Yeah. It's like a little half chunk of a fuselage, and you hop in, you get your little ring, and away you go.
And I just wanted to send them an email and give them a couple of options about what they could do to improve it. And I was like, oh, who am I to actually say? Because I wasn't anywhere near like Air Force
where you are now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I had no Air Force experience at all. I was just.
Hey, do you think you're in a position now where you could reapproach that? Could be another.
Do they still have the same simulator?
I don't know. I have to go and have another crack.
It could be another Could be another business angle.
I'm going to do a VRA road trip.
Yeah,
it'd be hilarious if it was still there.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool in there. Like they got one of the last Skyhawks in there. A couple of the Skyhawk engineer, the maintenance guys.
Yeah,
they're working in there as well. So it's really cool. Yeah. No, cool.
Once upon a time when New Zealand had fighter planes.
Yeah, the golden age. You know, we were this close to getting F-16s.
It's funny you mention that because I can't remember her name, but just so randomly I grew up in the Bay of Islands. Dad, his parents lived in Taranaki, so we ended up moving down to Taranaki, and I went to Waitara High for a year, which was a super positive experience. But one positive experience out of that situation was this girl that was in my class. Her dad was a pilot in the Air Force, and he was one of the very few that were flying the F-16s when they were trialing them, and he buzzed the high school when we were out doing PE one day.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah, and she didn't.
In an F-16.
She was an interesting girl, but she didn't tell any of it. I think she didn't tell us because I think, from what I understand, she was like, if there might be a chance that Dad could fly over the school, but it may not happen.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that he did. But yeah, and you know, at that stage, like I was like, man, that was like real cool. But I didn't realize the significance of it at that stage, because it's like, oh yeah, the New Zealand Air Force is going to get F-16s. Like, you just think it's just going to happen. I mean, they've got them here, they're flying them, they're trialing them. Oh, it must be going to happen. And then they're like, nope, not doing
Broke
doing
my
that.
heart, man. Broke my heart.
And we're going to sell the old ones. And the helicopters and everything else.
Yeah, the Hueys were iconic, eh?
Yeah.
I get why Air Force upgraded, because with the Hueys, like, they could take 5 or 6 troops in the back.
Mm-hmm.
You can get like a section and a half of your team in the back of an H90. It's basically a flying bus.
Yeah.
So,
it is.
And it can carry a lot more as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the metrics are, but they're all publicly available online as well. Just go on the website and it tells you.
Yeah, well, I've like one thing that stuck out with me was if the artillery guns, they used to have to break them down to transport them, whereas with the new helicopters, they just lift it and off they go. So it's like, that's a massive capability versus having to break it down, transport it with multiple helicopters, multiple flights, put it all back together before you can even fire it. And because did you go to the last air show that they did?
The one in 2017 at Ahakia, the air tattoo.
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, man, we haven't had one since.
Well, I suppose
it's such a good air show.
Did they have 18s there, or was it 16s? I can't remember.
They had both.
Oh, was it?
They had the Australians there with the 18s, and they had one F-16 there as well. Yeah, that was cool.
I'd love to see a Warthog, eh?
Yes.
I haven't seen a real one.
We all want one, right?
Oh, yeah.
In the backyard.
There's the F-22 coming. That's going to be sick.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. That's coming. Yeah,
Something about a warhog.
boys.
Something about it.
It's the first. It's so if you look at my my logo, the jet that's in there above the VRA, that's a warthog.
Yeah,
because that's one of the like when I seriously started getting into it. I remember I started off in a digital combat simulator flying. I think it was the Flying Cliffs F-15, which like poor quality compared to what we've got now. But I remember someone else talking about the Warthog. I was like, I'll give that a crack.
Yeah.
And oh man, there's just so much going on in that thing. It takes like half an hour to start up. But when it's up and going, like that thing is a cool aircraft to fly. It's so much slower than everything else. But that's part of the thing that makes it beautiful is you got so much time to make decisions, and you can slow it down even more with like the first press of the trigger on the joystick, and you're just like, oh, you guys are in danger, and you pull all the way back, and the whole aircraft is a stabilizers. It's so cool, and just the fact that someone decided, hey, I'm gonna make a gun, and then we're gonna make an aircraft around the gun. Yeah. And those guys make whiteware.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's wild.
It's so good.
Yeah.
No, I love the A10. It's good. I've spent a lot of hours in the A10. But that's also what the HOTUS, the hands-on throttle and stick, is that I use as well. That
nice.
Thrustmaster make.
Yeah, cool.
So that's cool too.
So it's based around the same aircraft.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, because like it's a very similar joystick to what the F-16 uses as well. But there's something to be said about like when you walk up to the simulator that I've got and it's got the Warthog throttle and the joystick, and then when you put on the headset and you see almost exactly the same thing, you're just like, oh wow, and you just start to develop that muscle memory where you can see what you think a switch should feel like, and then you put your finger on it, and you're just like, oh, that feels like what I'm looking at. That's really cool.
Wow.
So
cool.
like that's a very special part of the magic.
Yeah, where everything's matching up. You're not having to like reimagine it. It's not like holding on to something square which should be round. Yeah.
When what you're seeing and what you're feeling are synchronized, it's like that's good. The only thing that I don't know how to solve the problem yet is so when you're flying, there's external forces acting on your body. I don't know how to accurately or economically replicate that sensation yet. But I think that what we've got visually,
like turbulence and things like that.
Yeah, man, turbulence. Yeah, like I think I was talking. There's a guy that I actually owe a lot.
Because is yours like a stationary setup, or is yours like the big gyro?
No, it's just a stationary one. It's I haven't.
Because some of those full 360 rollover cage, like they're out of control, eh?
So there's
and you need a big space because they can like literally you can do backflips. And,
100%. Yeah, man.
You know.
There's a guy that I actually owe a lot of credit to. His first name's Craig. I can't remember his last name, but he runs the Aviator Experience up in Thames.
Yep.
And so he used to be an Air Force, I think it was a avionics technician or aviation mechanic or something like that. And so he's actually built what looks a lot more professional than what I've got, flight simulators. But one of the things that he did was he built a full motion cockpit. I think it cost him like 30-40 grand.
Yeah, man.
It was not cheap at all. But he gave me a go in it, and like you felt when you take off, you could feel yourself rising up. When there was turbulence, you could feel it. When the landing gear clicked into place, you could feel the thump.
Get feedback.
Yeah, man. And when you fired the cannon or you released a missile off the ground, oh, dude. It was worth. I think I salivated a little bit when I was flying it. Add a little more condensation. But it's not cheap, and so like with the resources I have available, because it's the border. It floats between a hobby and a professional service that are delivered.
Yeah, like if you're doing it full time, yeah,
man, and it's kind of my backup plan. Like I want it. I keep on developing it so that one day, if I want to stop working full time with what I'm doing at the moment, and I can just divert my focus and attention to VRA. That's where I want to get to. So
sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, man.
Sounds like special effects, actually.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, love to do all of this full time, but that would be and
ticket prices be outrageous.
And you're right, like there's just levels, right, where like even when something is like become businessy, special effects is a business, but it's not a business where it's paying all my bills. So but if I like yourself, if tomorrow I was like, right, we're going to do this full time, first of all I'd be shitting my pants.
Yeah. God,
but
here
the
we
whole
go.
mindset would be very, very different.
Yeah.
So like, if you were like, right, tomorrow I'm going to, build a full cockpit, it's going to set me back 30-40 grand, it's going to be fucking amazing, but that level of investment like would change everything.
Yeah, man.
Like you would, just the whole feel of everything would change. And it's quite an interesting thing with Airsoft, which I haven't quite worked out. Because like one thing that me and Jono did is we invested into the skirmish electronic system, and which is like hands down the most expensive Airsoft related system in the country.
Yeah.
And we were very nervous about making that investment, and as well it's been super challenging to navigate the Airsoft community because outside of like businesses, so like the dedicated like Airsoft arenas, outside of that, like it's a very challenging space because like there isn't, like clubs don't really invest in like what they're doing at a high level, which then brings like a level of accountability.
Yeah. Well, they're not full time either, right?
They're
like,
not. They're not. No time.
Yeah, but
they
like
just come and go.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're talking about the expectation of an entity that isn't full time or is barely part time, it's almost unrealistic to expect that amount of commitment. But with where we can potentially go in the airsoft community, like with what I'm hearing with some clubs, they are starting to grip things up a little bit. Like we'll look at what's happening for NZAL next year with Huntley, Taranaki, and what was the other one? Is it Auckland?
Auckland.
Yep. At least they're like, from what I saw with UX last year, like they seem to be gripping themselves up. Huntley seems to be, or AWI, they seem to be gripping themselves up. I don't know the Taranaki club well enough or at all, and I want to change that. Given that we're out here in Taranaki.
Yeah.
AWI is a very outward thinking club.
Oh yeah.
I think I don't want to say they're rare, but whatever they're doing, like I don't know all of their history. I don't know what the future holds for them. But then again, I don't know what the future holds for any club. But our interaction with AWI and the people within AWI, they are a very outward thinking club. And by doing that, they are very open to
growth.
Taking advice on how to
growth, but like it gives us the ability. I mean, like it's given both special effects and MIA the ability to run events in collaboration with AWI.
Yep.
That's what happens when you deal with a club that's pro working with people.
Yeah.
And just like it's less about us as a club, and it's more about like, oh, there's these guys over here that want to like bring an event to us. Like, awesome. like that sounds fucking great. Like, let's jump on that.
Yeah.
And then, then it's like, then MIA is there or Special Effects is there running like this event on top of what they are already doing. And TAR's been a similar club where a club can approach them. Like, TAR's going to host the NZAL final, but they're also hosting Palmerston North with their Faction Wars. And that'll actually be the third time that Faction Wars has come to Taranaki.
Yeah,
and that's just through the openness. Because at the end of the day, like, if you're not going to approach a club where you're just like, whether it's true or not, like if you think a club's like not interested in you hosting your event at their field, you're not going to bother asking.
Got a reputation as well. Like,
mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a couple of clubs that have got a reputation for like internal drama,
and
mm-hmm. no one really wants to be involved with that. But for us to come together as a national community, we need to figure out how to get through those social challenges as well.
Yeah, and it you're right. So it's like, it would make it very difficult for like, Special Effects to go do an event there, because like for us, like we invest a lot of money up front and a lot of time. So for us, it's actually a massive risk with like whoever we work with. And that's probably another helpful thing for people to understand is like there's massive risk involved with that. If a club turns around and just like pulls the pin and backs out of an event, like it's no skin off their nose really, other than like maybe a bit of a dent to their reputation or whatever that would be. But for us, it's like it could be catastrophic.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever we're dealing with new people, I'm super nervous.
Yeah.
All the time, because like even just running an event is hard enough. Like, like you invest all this time and money up front. So you need to sell like X amount of tickets to break even.
Yeah.
Then there's like a situation like for us, like if we say that if we commit to running an event, we're running the event no matter what. So then that opens us up to the situation where we could run that event at a loss.
Yeah.
So we could lose money. I forget my point.
Hey, you did as well. We knew this was going to happen.
God damn it.
It was going to happen.
It's just, it's
like investing that time and capital into supporting a club where the risk to them is potentially a little bit of rep damage, but whereas for you guys running an event, it's like potentially financially catastrophic.
Yeah.
And like, how do you recover from that?
So,
running an event.
Yeah. So events are very, very. So like I can say that out of everything that Special Effects does, so we do multiple different things under the Special Effects banner. Like running events is the worst part of the business.
Yeah.
It like from a financial standpoint and risk standpoint and time consuming standpoint, it performs the worst.
What are the things that perform the best for you guys?
The thing that performs the best is like selling product.
Yeah.
Product is, I don't want to say selling product is easy because that's not necessarily true. It still takes a lot of time and effort, and we have our own line of products as well.
Yeah. Which
is a whole nother kettle of fish. And so like we do like retail fireworks as well.
Hey.
So that's quite interesting in itself, because in New Zealand you can only sell fireworks to the general public 4 days in an entire year. But to be able to do that, it takes an entire year of prep.
Yep.
And it's not like I spend every single day like
thinking about
prepping
explosives.
but and we're like we're at the tail end. So like we deal with Len & Morgan, which are two amazing human beings. So they own Pyro Company Fireworks. So they are the importer. So you're not making your own. No, they design and make their own line of fireworks. Under Pyro Company Fireworks.
Yep.
So they're at the tippy top. So they're dealing directly with the manufacturers, making sure that all their products comply with New Zealand regulations, and there are no givens. So what I mean by that is, so they get their product designed, manufactured, and shipped to New Zealand, which is extremely expensive. Once it gets to New Zealand, they have to take a percentage of every single product line and test it to make sure that it actually complies.
That must suck.
Yeah, and products fail. Yeah. And because
that'd be the part actually. So I was being sarcastic. It's not I get to blow shit up all the time, but it's like what you say. When something doesn't, that
could wipe out a whole container of product.
Dude,
if it fails.
And how much capital would they have put into that line?
Like that's a really good point. So they might have a product line that fails, so it wasn't manufactured to spec. So when it comes into, and there's all sorts of shit that can go wrong. Like you can just have like a giant Roman candle, which has multi-shot effects. Like it was assembled wrong, and so they get a failure when they're doing the testing, and so that entire product out of that, so that specific product fails the whole lot, and that could be an entire container. They'll get a credit for that particular product because it was manufactured wrong, but they had to pay for the shipping. So that shipping could be 15 grand that they still have to pay for. So that's off their bottom line, just like that. And it's like nothing they did wrong. It was just the product was assembled wrong or whatever it might be. It failed testing when it got to New Zealand. They still had to ship it to New Zealand with the intention that it was going to pass. And that's it. And it might be a situation where it's too late in the year to get that product remade at the manufacturer and reshipped because it has to be shipped by water. And so we lose that particular product for the 4 days that we're selling. And that's happened
every season.
We've done it like over 6 years now. I think there might have been 1 year where we had the full range of product. I'm pretty sure like every other year there's been something. It's very complex. And so it's high risk but high reward. It's extremely stressful. So
Bitcoin.
I'd say
so volatile.
I'd say Bitcoin's easier to deal with, because again, like we do all this prep in the hopes that we will sell enough product to at minimum break even in 4 days. And it's terrifying because like you only have 4 days, so every single day you're just like watching the numbers, like, and like, so this season was horrendously stressful because, like, depending on how the days land on that given season, actually will depend like how people are buying. So like, to put it simply, like, payday in New Zealand for a lot of people is on a Wednesday. So Wednesday is going to be a good day because it's payday. But you might have a season where maybe it's Sunday. So this year it was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think. So your first day, and so weekends are actually worse, especially Sunday because everyone sleeps in. People are, people are not traveling to work or taking the kids to school, so you're just not getting the foot traffic. So this year, the first 3 days were terrible. And like, so for me and Jono, with the size of the operation we're doing with retail fireworks, it's over 6 figures.
Can't even fathom that.
It's really, really stressful. And so when you have the first 3 days suck, like,
fuck,
and you've got one more day.
Oh shit, man.
You should have seen how stressed my wife was. She rang me a lot. And you know, the season works out, and we make some. I think we make some really good decisions with how we like operate that part of the business, but it's horrendously stressful. It wouldn't be for everyone, that's for sure. And there's some really, don't get me wrong, there's some really great things about it, and that's why we do it year after year, and we have amazing support from Len and Morgan, honestly, like amazing people. It's a lot of money. In a very short space of time. It's a wild ride.
Apart from like the dismounted recon missions that I send you guys on, what are some of the things about special effects that excite you guys?
I think so. The pyro stuff is definitely really interesting. So like we kind of got introduced to that from doing the OPAF event. That's actually how we connected with Len and Morgan. Len came and did the special effects, so all the pyro effects. So that was like a really great introduction to kind of like, I guess you'd kind of call like movie set like special effects.
Is that the one with the tank?
Yes.
Do they make the tank fire?
So the tanks that we use for OPAF are fire blanks anyway.
They're
guns,
black powder guns.
Yep. Their guns are still operational.
I can see a tank on.
So Pyro Company, they'll handle the rapport at the other end. The tank round will go off. So there'll be a coordination. You know, so the tanky will know I'm hitting this target. You know, this is what's happening at this stage of the game or whatnot.
And so do you guys make the explosion of the thing that they're shooting? That must be cool, man.
Yeah, man.
Stressful, I guess, as well, because you got to get that timing right too.
Timing's got to be right.
Position needs to be right.
Not aiming at the right point. Have you had a couple of like desynchronizations?
Yeah, we had one with OPAF 3, which was like the finale shot. It was literally the shot that was taking out one of the tanks, and there was like seemed to be 2 different marks, and he positioned in the wrong mark, so it didn't quite line up. But and you know, like you can see it, and I like with us being so like understanding like the nuts and bolts of it and exactly how everything's meant to happen, we're like, fuck. But in saying that though, like the people that are more like hard on themselves about those situations is Len and also the tank driver. Because we kind of
I fucked that up.
Like it's a whole team. Like we're all real disappointed that we just didn't quite meet that mark. But to also put it in perspective, like for the average airsoft player, seeing like tanks fire like their main gun and like pyro explosions, like, you know, like they might realize that something's not quite right about that, but they're like, who fucking cares?
At the same time, like they've got other problems to solve. Like there's BBs coming.
And it's like it's not something that they see ever. They're like, I'm good with it, man. Like, you know, because that's very, I would say, a lot of OPAF is kind of like bringing airsoft into like a movie set situation.
It's an immersion level. that we're trying to create, like the MIA series. It's that level of immersion.
Immersing yourself in a scenario, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's not an everyday occurrence in airsoft. You're so used to that little electric drill noise in front of your face as you pull the trigger of an AUG. So when your squad's rolling with a tank and he's taking rips at targets and they're blowing up, and there's a helicopter coming over the top.
You feel like you're in the Fury movie.
Next minute you're jumping on an anti-aircraft gun and taking a rip at a helicopter, and that's got a big RDX unit on it, so it's all these crazy elements that build that event. And that's,
can you tell me more about that, how that RDX unit and the helicopter works? Because there's a bit of risk involved in that too, right?
Well, the RDX, basically it's just there's nothing that's going to interfere with the helicopter at all, so it's literally a giant boss unit strapped to an anti-aircraft gun, and they get to move the barrel around and make bang bang noises.
Oh, okay. So is there anything visual on the helicopter that happens, or is it just
no? So he can, it's just
inserting the troops, mate.
Yeah, so we literally use a little bird to plant guys into the field.
Oh, like an actual little bird.
Yep. So we've got 2 LZs.
Yeah.
And
Jono flying around with a little model.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we've got 2 LZs and we actually run 3 at the last one. Each guy that buys a helicopter ticket is on a sort of set plan, and they know when they've got to be at the helicopter, and they'll get inserted into
doors
a certain
off,
area. Doors off,
hanging outside.
Cool. And Mark the pilot, he's a madman, so he will throw that thing around. Like he's really really accustomed to dropping deer stalkers into really remote areas, so he's quite familiar with close terrain and all sorts of stuff. So he's a pretty.
He's an egg pilot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. So he's nuts.
Yeah. Like he actually has to fly very, in an
aggressive manner.
Well, no, compared to what he could do, he's giving the players an experience, but he's actually flying pretty safe.
Oh,
he's not because
he's flying within the envelope.
Within the envelope. Yeah. Like he's taken us for a couple of rides and taken us for a spin. You can really like throw those things around. So but there's a understanding that hey man, not all these players like can kind of handle themselves. So
motion sickness. Always the bag.
So no one wants to have raining
everybody's
spew
passed out in the chopper
as they're playing their game.
Spewed down the barrel of my AEG.
But the whole OPAF event for me and Jono is a lot to do with risk management, being one of them. But again, like it's it's given us the ability to connect with like Lena Morgan, which has then led on to us teaming up with them to do retail fireworks, which has then led on to other opportunities with like bringing in smoke grenades for airsoft players, and then like looking at future projects. Because it's like a lot of it, like there's just no blueprint. Like even with the pyro side of it, is it's like and knowing people like Lena Morgan and them, that's what Len's done for 20 years, and so it's like we can literally sit down with someone like that and say, hey, like it'd be really cool if we could make this type of product available to the airsoft market in New Zealand. Like, is that possible? And he'll be able to say, yep, or no, you'll just never get that type of product into New Zealand for these different reasons, blah 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 blah. So I think one of the things that's exciting about what we do at Special Effects and what we spend a lot of time on is actually just walking into the abyss. Yeah, and and like it comes back to what you were saying earlier. Like a lot of what we're actually doing is problem solving.
Yeah.
So like the TQs that we manufacture now, that was solving a problem that we had with OPAF 2, which was we had like 160 players attending that event. We brought in a medic rule that required a tourniquet style device, and we're like, oh, okay, well, like how do we want to do that? And so we're like, well, let's just buy a whole lot of like Chinese tourniquets, and we'll see what we need to do to use it in an airsoft game. So we're like, well, there's a whole lot of shit on these things that we do not require.
Yeah.
But basically what we wanted was just like a band with a D ring and some Velcro.
Yeah.
So we modified 160 tourniquets, which took hours.
Yeah, I'll bet it did.
Hours.
Yeah, it's just mind numbing. Like,
and so we
need some whiskey to do this.
Yeah, and so we got to the end of that because like we were committed by then. We had like spent the money, bought them, they had arrived, and we're like, these aren't going to work how they are. We're like, we're going to have to modify them, and then which took us hours to get them ready for the event. So then we're like, this is shit. Like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
Like the medic rule and what we were like looking to achieve was great. And it was nothing new. Like there was already other event producers using those style of medic rules. And I actually at the time I was like, oh, like Milsim West has their own TQs that they use at their events. And at the time I actually tried to purchase them and they weren't available.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I was thinking we would just purchase a ton of those and end up using them. And for whatever reason, at the time of doing that, they weren't available. And so we're like, and again, through some connections that we had, who had connections with manufacturers, we're like, let's have another conversation and see if we can't make something that's specific to our needs. And it just turned out that it wasn't simple, but it wasn't impossible. And the rest is history. And obviously we manufacture our own TQs, and that was just solving a problem.
Yeah, well, I took mine for a run yesterday morning on my vest.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Yeah, cool.
And again, like I could like ramble on and on and on about a whole lot of different things, but really like probably everything in life in special effects is no different. It's what it really boils down to is stepping stones.
Yeah.
So like we had an idea, we accomplished that idea, and we're like, all right, well, we've done that. Like, what do we want to accomplish next? Like, do we want to keep pursuing this?
Yeah.
Because if we want to keep pursuing this thing, whatever it is, then like here's the next stone that we need to jump onto, and so on and so on. And so I'd say we probably had no intention of doing any of this actually.
Yeah.
Just one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
Just through the decisions that you guys make after everything that happens, eh?
Yeah.
So what's the next big thing for you guys? Because I saw, is it competition 2.6?
Yeah. So we got the Airsoft League National Championship that starts Feb next year, and that's 3 rounds for the championship. So that's in 3 different regions.
Yep.
So we're going to focus on that. Because the other thing is we sponsor a lot of events.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember how many events that we actually attended like this year, but I want to say it was over 10.
Yeah. When you guys sponsor stuff, is it financial? Is it providing equipment, advice and guidance? Like what does it look like?
Just depends. Sometimes it's like it might be like a discount code. for like any attendee that's attending that particular event, because they buy a ticket to that event, they can then jump onto our website and get discounts on products. So, you know, like, you know, a great example was because we had the special effects tourniquets. They played really well. They were perfect for like Benno with MIA. So like doing collabs with Benno was really, really easy. And, you know, we also saw massive value in what he was doing as well. So we just genuinely wanted to support him in any way possible, and also attend his events when we could. And
from what I've seen, that feeling's mutual between you guys and Benno as well, because he was talking to me about supporting you guys with NZAL as well.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, it's just been like great like that, which is just like, and I think as well, you know, like I've said to Benno like a few times now, like, you know, obviously before we knew each other, we still had to feel each other out. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, you want to get involved with good people and do some good things, but, you know, you don't want to get involved with dickheads either. So it's
the first rule of Airsoft, right? Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's a dick and don't want to hang out with that guy.
Yeah. And I think it's like, I think it's so awesome when you can, like, you know, vividly remember like that first conversation of like breaking the ice and feeling out the conversation and trying to get an understanding of what like each other's were, like what we were doing and what we were trying to achieve and all the rest of it. But a big thing is like, you know, like you could sit there and say, well, you could look at MIA as like the competition, because like MIA and special effects do Airsoft events, and it's like, yeah, you could look at it like that, but like going down the pathway that we went down with Benno, which was like, let's like work together and see how we can help each other. Like, it's like we've done heaps of like cool shit, you know, and sometimes it's not even like, it's not actually even doing anything. It's just the sheer fact that it's like you just want the best for each other.
Yeah. Like, it's that collaborative approach, right? Because there's so many small businesses in New Zealand that compete with each other, and so they're just like slowly chipping away at each other.
And I think unnecessarily.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah, and but there's like something. There's something, dude, and there's something special about like those businesses that work together, like you guys and Benno. Because you're building each other up and you're helping each other out. And I think that's like, we need more of that in New Zealand. And I, like with VRA, I've tried to do that with some other businesses, and I've just basically met like brick walls being seen as a competitor. I'm like, no, I just want you to listen to me because I want to work with you because we can help each other out. But there's just like that, but like that fear of what if he backstabs me? Like I'm prepared to get backstabbed. Like I don't care, you backstab me, I'll learn something out of it, and then I'll just move on, and then go and find someone else to collaborate with. So
sadly there is that human element, and it's true. Like, you know, there are some bad actors out there that would be, you know, happy to play the part and then screw you over. That's just a fact of life.
But then reputation is so important in New Zealand as well, because we're such a small community. If you're a dick in the business world, like everyone talks about it. And then if you're trying to work with other people, no one's going to work with you if you're a dick.
Yeah. And also things change. I mean, like we've had disagreements with people in the past. But like, even then, like some of those disagreements that we've had is literally that. Like, I think we just agree to disagree, and it's like, you know, that was so long ago that it's like, is that literally what we're still talking about? Because my entire life has completely changed.
How many times as well?
In that amount of time. So it's like to still sit there and be like, oh, are we still back there? Like, what are we even doing?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
But it, you know, and that's how we've and as well, like that's how we've grown to have a good relationship with RDX, because we've actually both been able to do stuff together that's like mutually helps each other out. Like when they come to OPAF, that's actually a test place where they get to bring their units and thrash the shit out of them, because those units don't get used like that in the army. So they actually use OPAF to bring those units out and run them hard and see what they'll do.
Stress test them.
Yeah, stress test them. And because like we're so like, oh, we really appreciate you being here and like what you bring to the event, because they bring this like other level of immersion to the event, etc., etc. And they're
not quiet units either. Like
no,
I'm pulling the trigger
the
on
30,
a couple of those. Like,
30
this
mil
is mean.
units.
Hell yeah, brother, let's just go. So good.
Yeah, they are extremely loud, but they're like, nah, man, like, like what we're able to do, like at that event is like really, really important for the work that we're doing, because, and again, you're just like you just create these ideas in your mind. Like you just think that these, they bolt these things to the labs, and the boys in the labs are just out there just like smashing the shit out of them. And
it's what the army does.
Yeah. And he's like, nah, they actually don't thrash them. He's like, that's what's great about using them at OPAF, because he's like, we know that we'll stress test them and get some actual data on, what the cylinder seals can handle, etc., etc. Just like shit we don't even think about, because we're like, we just look at it as this big, loud, noisy thing that we strap to an artillery gun, and like how sick that is. And whereas they're actually, they're having fun, but they're working at the same time, and they're getting real value out of it. We've got to do some awesome projects.
Nice.
Stressful ones.
Yeah, definitely. Very stressful.
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about the weather. It's a stressful thing with events.
We're not going there.
Oh man, I love that meme where it's just like clouds, rain, and then it's like MIA 7 is here. Like, right
Yeah, it's oh man, that's a tough one with airsoft players.
It's just keeping them out when it's raining. It's what rain jackets are for. It's literally on the kit list.
Yeah, you say that.
I do say that because I'm one of the dudes in the chat trying to wheel and deal the section commanders. Like, make sure the guys bring wet weather kit and warm weather gear. Like, because when we're down in Christchurch for MIA 6, one of the biggest stresses for me was that someone was going to go down with hypothermia because they don't know how to survive in cold weather.
Yep.
And it's like when I was doing my training with Scotty, I just remember this one exercise where I think it's like 3 or 4 people were removed from the exercise because of hypothermia.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I mean, it was one of those environments where, so we were digging, and I remember by the time we'd finished digging, the top of my boots had frozen to the bottom of my trousers. I was like, what's going on in this nuclear wasteland that we're living in right now?
Why are we here?
Yeah.
So that was what I was a little bit worried about, because like at MIA 6 we didn't have the same gas evac resources that we had on that training exercise.
And the same expectation of everyone's got adequate kit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because there were some people that were like well underprepared, but there were also people that were overprepared, and you really need to find that healthy medium in the middle, because if you got too much kit, you're going to suffer when you're walking around.
It's so hard, eh? Like to find that, because like the weather plays such a massive part, because it's like, even like I actually think that the Milsim experience, we were talking about this the other day, but I think the Milsim experience actually starts the day you decide to go. Because I think part of the experience is the prep, and it's like MIA 7 was like, man, like we were watching the weather like day by day, going, fuck, like do we need to pack extra gear because like the weather's like super sketchy?
Yeah.
And but annoyingly, like if you know the weather's going to be good, like you're just going to ditch a heap of shit because you're not going to need it, you know, and it's going to make your ruck lighter.
Yeah,
and there's going to be less suffering.
Like, the problem is like what happens if the weather changes back the following day, because this is New Zealand, we get it all 4 seasons in one day, right? And one of the challenges is like finding good light kit for a good price as well, like because I've got the benefit of back when I was doing it for real, like I was just given the kit and like that's what you got, go and deal with it. But then like one of the things when I was in between 6 and 7, MIA 6 and 7, I was thinking to myself, well, you guys aren't getting issued equipment, like you got to go out and find your own gear, like so that's like another level of complexity, because quite a lot of the equipment that the military use actually has quite a high price tag. And like even like sleeping equipment like tents, like I don't actually own my own tent like that because they're so expensive. So but I mean like the number one thing that you need to get right in the first instance is your footwear. Like a couple of $100 for a good pair of boots as well. And if you don't go into like if you like do it cheap and buy it online and get your sizing wrong, like you're suffering for 2 or 3 days, you know.
Man.
But it's so, I think there's, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion, but I think the thing that airsofters seem to always skimp on is decent eye pro and decent footwear. And both of those are so problematic because they can ruin your experience.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And it's, but yet you'll, say, I would say one of the top things on your list is not your airsoft gun. Like when attending like a Milsim, there's nothing to do with your airsoft gun kit. Is actually your footwear. Yeah.
Well, I would even argue to say it's your iPro because like you can't
other
play.
than getting your eyes shot out.
Yeah, but I mean you're technically not allowed on the field without your iPro, right? So like
I just thought that was a given. But you're right.
Yeah.
Because number 2, footwear.
But I 100% agree with that because like, but part of Milsim is like move, shoot, communicate. You have to move to the place that you're going to shoot, and then you have to communicate what's going on. And if you don't have the right footwear, you can't move. So, and also like your feet are going to be
just gonna
bloody
suck.
sore.
Yeah.
Not the good kind of suck either. It's like, you know that when that you got that challenge, which is good and it's pumping you, you're just like, oh, this is really hard, but at the same time, it's like it's a good time because like I'm learning from it.
Yeah.
And because when you got that your skill versus the challenge of the situation that you're faced with, if both of those meet up at the right point on the graph, you get that good level of growth and you like get those endorphins released from that growth. Whereas if they don't match up and it's just like your skill is completely outmatched by the challenge of the scenario. So, oh man, that sucks, dude. And I've been there a couple of times.
Your lack of skill.
My lack of skill.
Yeah.
God, I love Milsim.
Yeah. Oh, it's a good time. Had a real good time. Really enjoyed having
Milsim was awesome.
As our platoon commander.
Yeah, you were great.
Oh, thanks, guys. You're making me blush now. I stopped drinking whiskey a while ago as well. Yeah. I love that platoon commander role because like.
Oh, that was going to be that's right. That was going to be my question for you. Is what do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy running and gunning or being in a leadership position? Because they're completely different from each other.
Oh yeah, 100% they are. Weirdly, I enjoy the leadership position more, and it's not because I've got power or control over anyone. It's because I influence people's growth. And one of the things about being a leader in a Milsim game, and it doesn't matter if it's airsoft or if it's like online gaming or whatever, as a leader, you're actually responsible for the fun of your team. And so one of the things that you need to communicate and find out, and it's a two-way conversation, is like, are you having fun? And trying to figure out how can I run things so that people getting more fun out of it. But it's not just about the fun; it's about their competence as well. Like I love helping people grow as well. Like that's another key part of being a leader, because if you're not helping people to grow, you're just a dictator.
Yeah.
You're just telling them to do stuff and they're not getting any, like you're not really considering them in the equation of the problem that you're trying to solve. Because that is part of the problem that you're trying to solve. You want them to become a little bit better at what they're doing, because at the end of the day, if you can develop someone's skills, whether it's just making them better at doing the thing that they're doing now, or if you're helping them develop a completely different skill set, then you're increasing the flexibility of how that person can have fun. Like you can send them away and do different things, and like, because there's not much more things in the world that are fun than winning. And so if someone goes away and they do something competently, they feel like they've won. There's so much endorphins running out, into the body from the brain after that. So
cool.
man, increasing levels of fun, increasing levels of competency.
Nice.
And that can be at any level of skill set, whether it's just like the thing. Weirdly, I really like running ranges as well, just range shoots. And so some people, they probably won't have the time or the patience for it, because at the end of the day, it's just getting a rep. But helping people, because like anyone could just aim their rifle and pull a trigger, and who cares what happens after that? And you can just shoot at the same target all day, every day. But being able to run a range where people are introduced into different environments, like all of a sudden there's a target to your left instead of just a target to your front. Or if you're walking someone through a kill house or a shoot house or something like that, I try and run that sort of thing online. And like I used to, one of the first VR first person shooters that I used to play in was, it was called Onward, and used to be able to do 4-player co-op missions. And so I think it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like the very first one of the first missions is where you're on a like a cargo ship. Have you guys played that? Do you remember that?
I would have done.
Anyway, so you go through this cargo ship and you clear in Call of Duty. In Onward, there's a very similar level where you're going through and you're just clearing. And so with 4 people, it's quite difficult. And especially when 1 or 2 people get shot. And like, because once you're shot, that's you done. You know, there's no respawn or anything. It's quite realistic in that sense. But going from the point where, so there was a group that I used to play with quite regularly, and so I was the fire team leader. And to begin with, like, we weren't able to clear that cargo ship. And then what we would do was we would do, or come up with some kind of plan to begin with, like how we're going to clear the cargo ship. We'll go through, we'll get whomped, and then we do an after action debrief where, and this is probably like one of the most important parts of if you're seriously competitive about doing something, is doing that lessons learned part immediately after the thing that you've just done, so it's all fresh in your mind. And so we would sit down and we'd go around and say, okay, one thing that you did well and one thing that you can work on. And so we went through that as individuals, and then I did the same for me. And then we'd go through and we'd do the same thing, but from the perspective of as the team. So everyone would come up with a thing that the team did well and a thing that the team didn't do so well. But one of the rules with the thing that we didn't do so well is there had to be a recommendation of something that we could change so that we would do it a little bit better. And like 9 times out of 10, it was communication. Like how to like we need to figure out how to communicate.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Yeah. So that was quite cool. And so I think it was like over the period of a month, we went from not being able to clear it at all to being able to clear it with a couple of casualties to just absolutely smashing it by the end of it. But that was because we did the same thing every week. Over and over again, you know. So and that wasn't just them getting better at like being able to align their weapon with the target and pull the trigger. That was me being able to coordinate them as well. Because sometimes like the guy at the or one of the guys at the front will get smoked, and so that means that I've only got one guy at the front. Then there's me wheeling and dealing the team and another guy at the back. So okay, sweet. Well, can we still get the dude that's gone down at the front? Can we get him back up with like a med pen or something? Or do I just take the risk, put the 2 remaining guys at the front and I'm like turning around and watching our 6 every 7 steps or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like just little things like that about how do you deal with situation changes as well. So is that growth piece.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've gone down a tangent.
No,
there,
no,
right?
no. It's
Well, I think these little tangents that you go on, it just shows the level of commitment to a leadership role.
Yeah. Because there's and the reason I ask that is because like obviously like predominantly in airsoft, like we're all just there to run and gun. So anytime like you know like, and especially when we're talking about events like MIA or any airsoft event that requires like some form of leadership, that one requires someone to volunteer to do that job, and two, the person that volunteers to do that job has to sacrifice their ability to go play airsoft. And as well, like it'll be a very similar situation for like me and Jono when we're running events, that when you run the event and you see players having fun, like that's the enjoyment that you get. You're not the player shooting the BBs, like, you know, in the thick of it. You've just facilitated this for them to go
This
do
thing
that
to happen.
yeah. And for them to have a good time. And but it does take that sacrifice that you can't be the man on the trigger. And as well, you know, the other part of leadership, which makes a lot of people uncomfortable, is the fact that you, by being the leader, you stand in front of your peers and you fully make yourself vulnerable to criticism.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand that being a leader, you're not better or higher than anyone else. You are just one of your peers. You just have a different function in the team.
Yep.
It's like you got the guys up the front. They're the ones that are likely going to get shot at first, so they're the most vulnerable. You got the guys at the back that are stopping you from getting ambushed or flanked from the rear. You got a dude with the machine gun, and his responsibility is to carry like all the ammunition and put rounds down range when you've got like heavy numbers coming in. Someone's got to wheel and deal the chess pieces, man, and it's just the function of the leader. You're not better or worse than anyone else. You're just another cog in the machine, so to speak.
And you're actually the guy that has to deal with all the shit. Yeah. Everyone else's job is just simple. You've got to deal with when shit's going wrong or when players are not happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But I get that satisfaction of like, so there's two sides of it, right? There's one, you do it correctly, or your plan works, and the guys come back with these shit-eating grins on their face, like that was a fucking good time. They got their Navy SEAL moment. Yeah. Or there's when the guys come back and they're like, fuck, man, that sucked. What went wrong, man? Yeah.
And you have to be there either way.
Yeah, and so you have to, because you have to be able to ask the right questions to get the right information out of them, so that you can come up with another plan that results in them having fun and or learning.
Yeah.
It's like a four-stage kind of part of that if they come back and you haven't learned in the first place, or you haven't done it right in the first place.
Yeah.
Or it hasn't worked in the first place.
Yeah. Which, again, isn't for everyone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't for me when I started. Like when I went to join the army, I applied as an officer to begin with, but like I couldn't even maintain eye contact with the interviewer. Like I was looking at the ground and kind of talking to my feet. Yeah. And so like I didn't really have much self-confidence back then, but being a soldier, like going through soldiering training, like they almost literally beat it into me.
Yeah.
And that's why I stood a chance like going through commissioning course when I did.
Yeah.
That was 6 years of soldiering. I was going to say getting beaten up, but I didn't get beaten up because I held my ground most of the time. But you know, like you kind of the army, it kind of breaks you down so that they've got,
so they can rebuild you.
Yeah, so they can forge you. Yeah, build you back up into something that is in a state that they predictably know how to lead. Because like with with leaders and followers, leaders need to be predictable. They need to know or be able to predict what their leader wants. But then a leader needs to be able to know how their followers or subordinates are going to behave when they give a certain direction. And so that's what, man. And so that's what training is all about. If you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, you learn what those behaviors are from each other, because a leader that doesn't know how their subordinates is going to behave or react, you can't come up with a plan if you don't know how people are going to do things.
So what we need is more good leaders like Robbo.
100%.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. But, well, I mean, so you know how I'm talking about coaching people to be better in their skill sets?
Yeah.
Trying to help build people into better leaders as well. And a couple of people have approached me, and so we're working on that. And there's been a couple of good sessions on like Armour Reforger, where we've had some people volunteer to be section members, and we've gone and we've digitally done a mission where the leaders have had, like the team leaders have had an opportunity to wheel and deal the section, and to begin with it was just chaos, and towards the end of it it almost looked like the real thing, which
function.
Which was really cool, and so we saw some of that come out in MIA 7, and some of the Auckland stuff with Airsoft Alphonse. There's some good leadership examples coming out of that from what I hear too. So so that is one of the things that I'm working on, developing a package for, to be able to help people learn how to be better leaders too.
Yeah, cool.
Because that's why I asked, like, do you know of any examples in society where, you know, people can just walk in off the street and develop those leadership skills? And I'm trying to like fill that gap. Facilitate it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Which is cool. Yeah.
Right. On that note,
I think we'll
thank you for thank Bino for putting on MIA 7, and thank you, Rob, for being our platoon commander and just giving us a good experience. We had an amazing time.
Yeah.
And
thanks, Bino. Cheers, mate.
And thanks for sitting down with us and
having
a good old yarn.
No, it's a privilege. Like, how many people get to see this? This is cool shit, man.
Yeah.
Fucking grenade launchers and AKs on the walls is mint.
It is a good time. And right.
Sweet. Well, that's another wrap.
We'll call it a day.
Cheers, gents. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, Robbo. Oh, yeah.
That was me. I enjoyed that. What's the time?
It's past midnight.
Is it 3:00 in the morning? Holy moly.